Lef's birthday is coming up October 21st. I'll never forget it because it's the same day as my wife's birthday, October 21st. Thank you, Jenny. Happy birthday live stream on www.streamlabs.com/rosecorp
What's a hot take? So I have a hot take for you. My hot take? Well, I think some artists need to put a little more energy in their live set. Overly complicated tracks are things that kind of ruin a track for me. Don't stick to any kind of genre label.
Future bass is the worst music genre ever created.
Barber Beats was the original vaporwave. Fuck General MIDI Choir, it's all bad.
Bruh.
Worst album artwork I've ever seen is Green Day's Father of All Motherfuckers, probably.
I find new music often, and I usually illegally download it.
Stuff that sounds good. Sampleless vaporwave is still vaporwave, buddy. MIDI wave is a form of vaporwave. Deal with it. Gen Z's the future of vaporwave. I said it.
What is your musical guilty pleasure, Vape Bearer?
It's gotta be K-pop. If you don't like mint chocolate chip ice cream, you are a baby. Music isn't real. I smell weed. I'm Dan Mason. This is Vape Eric. This is FM Skyline.
This is Mesh.
Yo, this is Groovy Kaiju. This is Christ. You're listening to Hot Takes. That's the one.
Don't touch my records. Ever.
Yo.
Hold on. I just gotta load up. Let's go. Hold on.
You made it.
What's up, guys?
At the 11th hour, and oh my god, our screen captures are so messed up.
I still got to log into the old.
We just went live.
Twitch.
Welcome to Hot Takes.
Oh, we just went
everybody.
live. I'm still logging into Twitch, so I can't read any chats right now. Hi guys, how are we doing?
We have a still up for you right now, and I am a combination of my background and I think Tom's background. Welcome to Hot Takes, everybody.
Yeah,
Let me work on fixing these, but it is me, Young Shiro, and my illustrious companion.
Skeleton Lipstick.
Just made it, just barely on time.
We're at a slightly different time today.
We are
our dear friends from across the pond.
We are incredibly excited about
what
tonight's guest.
What an exciting show it is today. I have been so excited to talk to my dear friend Tom and Topaz Gang all together, both members. This is amazing.
There's
our first international guests. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Tom,
well, they're not our first international guests, but they're our first British guests. We had a Hawaii 94 on, you silly.
Oh fuck! All right.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Hey dude.
We had Leon.
We had
we had Leon. Lee beat you guys. Sorry. You can take it
Let
up
me
with him.
see if I can fix.
That's right.
Of course,
Yeah,
I got to
Leon.
fix me first.
This is our first
Priorities.
guest from Britain, though.
Yeah, it has been a long time coming. We have been both friends with these fellows for a very long time. They have been incredibly influential and seminal in the scene, and we're just beyond the normal grade or level of excitement to chat with Topaz Gang tonight. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and take the still down, and if it's one of you boys, I'm so sorry. Let's see what happens here. But anyways, Hot Takes, guys, is a bi-weekly internet talk show / podcast in which we discuss really just like the art and the artistry and take every opportunity that we can to just geek out and have fun and be silly and get to know each other's tastes. We encourage our audience to participate in one of many ways. We have an emoji board, so throw your emojis up and they go all over the screen. We have a series of commands. You can follow us. You can follow me. You can follow Skelly. You can join the Discord server. And wait a minute, let's say Discord. And you can even check out the official Spotify playlists. I did not spell Spotify properly, but we got an actual special new playlist courtesy of Be Careful. Previous guest, very skilled individual, threw together a very special playlist full of some of their friends and our friends' best, or at least their favorite tracks, favorite contributions. So check out Be Careful's playlist. And then, of course, if you feel if the spirit moves you, as Skelly would say, donate.
I do say that a lot.
Donations are entirely optional, but they are very much appreciated. I try to shout each and every one of you out and send love in the form of DMs because these donations go towards commissioning artists in the scene for artwork. I feel like I'm hearing a knock at the door. I might be going crazy. Anyways,
all right,
Roge Corp with the $10. Thank you. Y'all check. If you didn't see the ad, go to Roge Fest. Right. It's going to be a banging show. He pulled Windows 96 and a handful of other very, very skilled and talented people. Sorry, I'm redlining. Last thing.
Redlining.
Yeah, last thing before.
I'm logged in. I am in. Let's do this.
Let me turn this shit down real quick. Sorry, guys. So we've got the ground rules. Just be kind to each other. No shitty shit. No, don't punch down. Punching up is actually encouraged, but no punching down. And please hold your questions for the second hour. Skelly,
you got music recs. Wait, you got music recs, right?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm like all discombobulated because of like the earlier time.
Yeah, imagine it being 12:07. I would be awful discombobulated if I was Tom and Euan.
12:07 a.m.
12:07 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time or whatever they call it. So before we get to meet our lovely guests, some recommendations. Couple that I can sing praises, and then one that I want to see what you guys think. So anybody who is a fan of vapor trap or funk music or the intersection, even just instrumental hip hop in general, has got to be a fan of N5X's. I actually discovered N5X's without the aid of like a there go our displays. Hang on. Sorry. Discovered N5X's without the help of any vaporwave like forum or playlist. One of my I hate the word normie, but one of my normie friends showed me N5X's, and I was like, damn, this shit spanks. What is this? And then of course I've been a fan ever since. With the intersection of instrumental hip hop, funk music, N5X's of course played Electronicon 2. French dude, very, very skilled, very enjoyable. I want to recommend an album by N5X's called Blood Rage. Blood Rage dropped a couple years ago, so I'm a little late on that, but I don't, my crate digging methodology is kind of all over the place. But if you like any of that kind of music, definitely check out N5X's Blood Rage. Dropped the link in the... Well, I meant to drop the link. Thanks, Lux. She beat me to it. Following that up with a recommendation, anybody who's a fan of like retro music or vaporwave, or just any sort of nostalgic music, will probably appreciate some of Fire Tool's lesser-known side projects. Fire Tools is very much an acquired taste. It took me years to come around to her work. We've had her on the show. She's a great friend of the show, and she's got a side project where she kind of forgoes the black metal vocals or death metal and just kind of focuses on the smooth jazz and world music kind of fusion. And it's called Non-Local Forecast. So if you love Fire Tools, you've got to check this out. If you don't love Fire Tools vocals, but you love her music, Non-Local...
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but there are
ridiculous. Who would say that? Fire Tools vocals are an instrument unto themselves.
I thoroughly agree, but I do think that they are a little bit of an acquired taste sometimes, and I think sometimes in order to get...
I would say the people who don't like it are wrong.
I also would say that. However, if I was going to introduce a friend to Fire Tools, but I didn't want to scare the hose, I would show them Non-Local Forecast.
I see what you're saying.
Non-Local Forecast's holographic universes. And in grand, every time I close this window, the displays just go to shit. Holographic universes. Let's drop a link. Thank you, Lux. She beat me to it again. Check it out if you like smooth jazz, jazz fusion, world music. It's very beautiful, very sublime, just meditational music. Thank you, Discoholic. He also posted the link. Welcome to Hot Takes, Discoholic. Now, I want to recommend a third album, but I only kind of want to recommend it. And it's sort of like a halfway hot take because I want to think about what you think. I want to hear what you think. The new Oneotrix Point Never album, again, came out a couple of weeks ago. It's a little bit of a... I don't know if I love it or not.
Oh,
I listened to it a couple times. Okay.
Doesn't it remind you of... what's it called? The other album?
Let me drop
Go ahead,
link.
you talk first.
Rifts. I beat you by a second, Lux. I like the fact that it harkens back kind of to like the Rifts sound, but also kind of has almost like a smattering of almost like an audio collage. My throat's been bothering me. Sorry, an audio collage. I feel like he's kind of been... I don't know. My criticism that I would level at again is I feel like he kind of just doesn't know what he wants to do. Maybe he knows exactly what he wants to do, and I just don't realize that. But I feel like he's just kind of noodling a lot of the time. So my favorite songs are the ones that have like a very strong like overarching kind of like drive or focus.
Can I ask you what your favorite song was on it?
Let's see. Let me see if
I'm pulling up the album right now to remind myself also.
Okay. So as long as we're frozen. Every time I open another window, this junk ass computer freezes.
Like I was a big fan of like World Outside.
So I put on my phone Nightmare Paint, Memories of Music, and Ubiquity Road. Sorry, we're moving again.
So I don't find this album to be as collagey as I thought this one reminded me more of R+7. I thought that
I love R+7.
When I think of like the earlier stuff, I do think of that as a little bit more collagey, like letting the arpeggiators go on the synthesizers. This one had a lot of ideas in it, but I was partial to the song like World Outside with that big beat in it. Yeah.
Okay.
With like, you know which song it's the third song on the album.
I don't remember that song.
Listen to the third song on the album again.
I will do that.
I'd like to get your opinion on that one later.
I will do that.
I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Once again, I thought.
What would you rate it out of 10? Maybe like a 7.5?
8.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's really nothing. There's nothing I don't like by Oneotrix Point Never. There's nothing that, as a producer, I don't learn from listening to him. He is constantly in the same way that sometimes when I look at a lot of art, some of my favorite art is literally just titled stuff. And mind you, Oneotrix Point Never stuff is rife with meanings and different interpretations.
That is
has
very
a lot of depth to it. But to tell you the truth, some of the art I really like a lot is in addition to that, he also has the idea of let me try playing with this sound here and this drum here and this sort of frequency here and this frequency there.
Tonal.
And in the same way that there's a lot of really wonderful art, which is just like, figure line and circle study number 6, 7, 8, where it's just another way of putting together shapes and lines and colors. But the way that you put together the artist on that canvas puts together a shape, a line, and a color, that is going to go on to influence everything in architecture, in fashion design, in color theory, and it starts at ground zero with something that's just titled Line and Circle Study number 625. You know what I mean?
So me calling it like stripped down and simplistic is just like Philistine. It's a Philistine.
Oh, I don't think
take.
it's. I mean, you really think it's simplistic? I mean, you could call it stripped down, or you
no,
can call
I would say.
Well, actually, you know what? You could actually. I would say you can call it simplistic, but you can't call it stripped down because I think that there's a lot of ideas, and I think you can call it simplistic, but stripped down. No, I think there's a lot going on in the sound design. I don't think it's anything haphazard. I think that is all design.
And there is a lot of like white spaces.
It could still, yeah, exactly, and it can still be simple, but I don't think it's stripped down. I think that it's very complex.
Okay.
Complex,
no. Actually, I
you
think
can call it some of the. Do you know what I'm saying?
There's
man?
a duality there where I think it's simultaneously. It's like Schrodinger's song, you know.
You could say it's simple because it's not a very complex orchestral pop song or a complex piece of like.
It's not maximalist. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could say it's not maximalist, but it can still not be stripped down. You could have like the most complex sound design. You know what one of the most complex sound design in the world is? It's that opening sound with the theater. That
the THX sound. Yeah.
The THX sound. Now that's something that's complex but simple, right? Think about One Tricks Point Never stuff like that.
Yeah.
You pick up what I'm putting down, friend?
We are getting.
You pick it up?
I am. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. It's good. It's good to catch me on a weekend, I guess.
Me too. Apparently, we do need to move on to your hot take because we're a little behind on bringing on our guest, and I'm getting crucified in the chat. So let's change.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're like, get the fucking Topaz Gang on. Right?
It wasn't bad, guys. I just didn't. It just didn't move me.
10 minutes. That's fine. All right. Should we get on to a hot take?
Yeah. What's that?
I'm just still trying to post on social media to tell people to log in. I'm still catching up. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so hot take. Why don't we take a hot take directly from the event that we played this weekend?
Great idea.
Right? We were in Madison, Wisconsin. Young Shiro and I, along with our dear friends Frank Javasi and Frank Javasi. That's how you pronounce it, right? Frank Javasi. And then. Who else was there? Christ was there with 3 T's. Christ, our buddy Christ, and who else was there?
Enough Red Bull, sir.
No, I haven't had it yet though. Mr. Geonomic Library. Geonomic Library.
Yep.
Geometric Library. Geometric Library. What's his name? Super Cold. What's his vaporwave name? Global Chill. He came as
Chili
which was
Kids.
really fun. The Chili Kids. Who's quite a riot backstage at IMCO and
oh my God,
and no more Now Market. A lot of people. So the point was that there was a lot of people playing. Some of the local people didn't have a lot of time to play because there were people from out of town, and there was a little bit of friction because the local person was getting angry that they were going to have as much time to play, and this was their first show. And here's the hot take: is that if it's your first show and you're a local and there's a lot of people from out of town, that promoter is doing the very best they can to take care of everybody. He has to give preference to the people who traveled first, and especially if it's your first show, you can't act too entitled about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know how it is, right?
It's hard.
When you played your first shows, you know that you're like, I'm going to sit in the corner, and anytime I get, I'm grateful for it.
I would have been wrecked if I had my set cut in half, but I agree. You can't please everybody.
But there's going to be another opportunity. You live there. There's going to be another opportunity. And to tell you what, I think it builds character to get disappointed. I think that everybody who's starting off should get disappointed and should get like jerked around a little bit. I was jerked around a little bit when I started. I still get jerked around. You get jerked around. We all even still get jerked. Ayo. So I think it's good to get jerked around. Hot take. I think it's good to. I need a different phrase. I think it's good to get. You're good to be disappointed. It's good to have things not go your way, particularly when you're just starting off. It's good to face disappointment and have to deal with it. And my hot take is that everybody needs to go through that shit. Cry me a fucking river.
You know what? I think our illustrious guests will probably have a thing or two to say about that.
Oh, they probably will.
Quite a few live shows.
Play quite a few live shows. Let's bring on the boys.
So everybody, if you don't know who Topaz Gang is, it's okay. We're old and we've been around for a long time, and so has Topaz Gang. They've been around from the very beginning. They've collaborated with St. Pepsi. They were on Fortune 500 Records, Luxury Elite's record label. They've collaborated with Vektroid. I listened to Feather Skull on the way up to Madison. I sent a shot to Lux. I was like, look what I'm listening to. They got in really big trouble one time, but I'll let them tell that story if they want to. And there is a very well-known, well, not super well-known, but it's a synthwave artist that stole their name. So anyways, everybody who say hello to our very first guests from Great Britain. We've got Topaz Gang in the house. Go ahead and unmute yourself, fellas.
Hey.
Let me find these savers.
Is it on? Are we live?
On the left, on the left is Euan, and on the right is Tom. And I need to fix your
and Tom.
You're kind of tiny, right? You're tiny Tom. So let me fix your camera.
Tiny Tom.
Tiny Tom.
What we call it.
Tom is a little under the weather, so everyone, be patient. But we are incredibly excited to have you. We have been. I was telling them yesterday when we did the AV test, Chris. We've been internet homies for just an absurd amount of time. So it's just serendipitous to finally be able to get you guys on the show.
Yes. Phenomenal. Fantastic.
Chris kind of owns the first hour. Yeah, bud. I'm still working on Tom's.
Get my promo buttons here.
Yeah, man. Well, you're the guy who has all the biographical questions. So do you want to help us get to know Topaz Gang?
I do.
We saved the stupid questions for the second hour. Well, and the guest questions, which are not guest, the audience questions. Those are not stupid at all.
The stupid questions.
All right. Okay. So first things first. Let's get into it. How did you guys start making music in the first place? And I actually kind of want a separate answer from both of you. Where did you guys begin? What was the musical drink? What was your first instruments that you played? And what was the first album you heard that made you want to play instruments?
Let me interrupt super quick, and I'll never do it again. So one thing that would make this show a lot easier is if we maybe start with one of them, so we're not interrupting each other. So
okay,
if it's
let's start with who wants to answer the question first?
Yep.
Euan or Tom? And also, actually, question specifically for Euan: do you do as good of impressions of Northern British people as Tom does?
Well, I mean, I am a Northern British person, so that feels like...
Yeah, but he does a really good impression of the really heavy, brogy stuff.
Oh yeah, proper full-on Geordie. Yeah.
Full-on Geordie. I have had the pleasure of hearing him do it in person before, so
I told you he was going to bring
you
this
have that
up.
skill as well. You told me. I was 100%. I've been waiting. Man.
I don't know. So I'm from a town called Whitley Bay, which is at the seaside. I live in Newcastle now, which is just a few miles away. But technically, I'm a posh Geordie, so we have slightly less strong accents in Whitley Bay.
Okay.
Although a lot of people tell me I've still got quite an accent. So maybe it's I think Tom maybe can do a better full-on Geordie than I.
I know he can do it better. I know he can do it well. I know he can do it well. All right, but let's get back to the regular questions again, because I want everybody to get to know you guys, get to love you guys the same way that we do. So can we just get on with the first question, which is, can you just tell me about the first piece of music that you listened to that really, kind of made you fall in love with music? Euan, and then Tom.
Okay.
That's how it reads on my screen.
Hell yeah.
I guess it would be the Beatles when I was 3 or 4 years old.
Wow.
My
connected that early.
All we sort of all seem to get obsessed with the Beatles around the same time. And so I've got an older brother, he's a few years older than me, and we just became Beatles obsessives. Knew all the words to all the songs. We would make our own bands and make music videos in the garden and stuff. So I had a little toy guitar, a little toy microphone. I think that was probably
adorable
when I really kind of first grasped music, and it's always been there for me ever since. And probably the first live music I saw was a year or so after that. We went to see a Beatles tribute band called the Bootleg Beatles, who were great. And that's probably the first time I saw proper live music when I was 4 or 5, and just kind of constant since then. So blame the Beatles, I guess.
Yeah, no, I can definitely understand that. I learned basically how to make music structurally by learning to play Beatles songs. Like I listened to the Beatles catalog and I got my guitar and I just learned how to play all their songs. And the nice thing about the Beatles is that anybody can pick up a guitar and play their songs and sing their songs, and you can do it in your own voice. Like if you try to do that with the Rolling Stones, you're just going to sound like the Rolling Stones. You can't sound like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. But if you pick up the Beatles and you just look at the chord progressions, you play it, you sing it, you can make it your own. And that's kind of what their big gift is to the world, in my opinion, is their songbook is this gift of like, if you're a songwriter, you can pick this up, you can play it, you can sing it in your own voice, you can play it in your own style, and you can learn how the structure of pop songs work. And like I remember after figuring out how to play like all these Beatles songs, it's like I feel like I can write anything now. Like I know how to write music. Like when you finish doing that, you're like, I know how to write anything. And then like I don't write music that sounds like the Beatles, but like because of learning to play it, like I felt comfortable structuring songs. Yeah, and that's like the amazing thing about it. That's why they endure.
It's all in there, right? You've got like the amazing vocal harmonies and like the really kind of with the early stuff, the really succinct pop songs, which I love. Crazy. And you speed that up and you get like perfect punk tracks, and then you get in the span of like a couple of years they're doing like tape experiments and synths and sitars and like fucking weird shit, but molding that back into pop music. It's but
it's all like it's all accessible. It's all a hook. It's all got a hook.
So are you saying the Beatles is slowed and reverbed punk rock?
Slowed and reverbed,
or some of it at least. It's vapor punk.
I think the early stuff, like you just speed
Beatles
up.
Invented vaporwave. You heard it here first.
Goddamn. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth. Just messing around.
No, you can quote me on that. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna get back to you about that Beatles band in a second. But Tom, can you tell me about what your first experience with music and what made you kind of fall in love with it and start wanting to do something? Doesn't happen.
See, here's the thing, like this whole time that Euan's been rambling about the Beatles, I've been trying to think because I'm plenty old now and I'm trying to think back that far, but I think really the first time I got excited about music must be in like 2002 and getting a Linkin Park CD.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I knew Tom was going to come in and say new metal. I was like waiting for it.
New metal.
Like, I knew. No, but I know Tom, and I know like a little bit about.
Hey,
his
Linkin Park is the Patti Smith of new metal.
Like yeah, sure. Why not? And like, no, I know Tom, and I knew, and I like while you was talking about the Beatles, like Tom's gonna come in, he's gonna mention, I think he's gonna mention like Hybrid Theory or something in a moment.
Oh man,
Hybrid
Theory has aged like wine. By the way, that album is
love it.
It
so
really
good.
fucking has, dude.
Like if you haven't listened to Hybrid Theory in full in 2023, just get on that.
Skelly is undressing.
Hell yeah. So. Yeah, my dad's like always been in bands. My dad's still in bands to this day, and he like.
How badass!
I think I must have been about 6 or 7, and he like taught me how a keyboard works. Told me where the notes were, and like a nursery rhyme, and I think that was about it. Okay.
I love that.
Sort of reverse engineered everything I know about music from that. Sort of like, like learning guitar in school after listening to Linkin Park. And then, I learned, songs on guitar. My fucking guitar teacher taught me how to play Wonderwall because he's a spiteful bastard. But from sort of, learning that, I was able to teach myself more on keyboard, and then, one day my dad comes home with like PC Music magazine. And he's you can make music on your computer now, and look, he showed me like a piano roll, and you click the notes in here, and it's great. And I was like, game changer.
Yeah, no shit, right? That's sick.
Did you ever have that software? I can't remember what it was called. The first DAW I ever used was a free CD-ROM that came with some cereal. Do you remember that? Because that sounds like a fever dream.
Oh man,
I remember like Easy DJ or something, but it was a.
I didn't have it, but that's unlocked a deep cut of a memory.
Did you guys ever play Chex Quest?
No.
No.
Oh, it was like a Doom ripoff. It came in cereal.
Oh, is this like the cereal checks? I don't think we get that over here.
Oh
Damn.
You don't get
no,
checks.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of Chex? Oh,
Sorry.
That's all right.
it's probably
Okay,
better than
guys.
Weetabix.
Next quest.
So, yeah, no, I read PC Magazine too when I was younger. That and like future music and computer music, and that's actually kind of how I learned to do production, was getting those magazines and opening them up and like just looking at the little articles they would write about how frequencies worked, and I would read that in conjunction with like listening to music I liked and be like, okay, all right, I'm getting a little bit better at this. And then all the free CDs, ROMs they would come with the sample packs. So, back to Euan for a minute. Can you tell me about the Bootleg Beatles, and at what point did that ever lead to you doing original guitar music?
Yeah, I mean, several years later, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, the Bootleg Beatles, yeah, because I was like 5, maybe the first time I saw them, and I've seen
Oh, it's too
them
cute.
probably innumerable times
Whoa.
since. I'm seeing them in a couple of months' time. They come through town like every December or something.
Really?
It's like a family tradition. Yeah, it's a tribute act. They dress up as the Beatles and they play the songs and they go through like the different eras.
Okay.
But they're seriously good. Like they played last year. They played Tomorrow Never Knows. And it
So
was
did that make you
fucking
start picking up
insane.
the guitar? Wait, we love the Bootleg Beatles, but did that make you start doing music yourself?
Yeah,
I mean, if
I
you want to keep talking about the Bootleg Beatles career, you can. But like, this is your time.
He's a
The
stan.
Bootleg Beatles can come. They can come on Hot Takes.
I'm
another
so
time,
glad you
but I
brought me on
want
Hot
them to
Takes.
come-
Let me tell you about the Bootleg Beatles.
No,
That's what you really should
Bootleg
have on.
Beatles. They're really good. They come around. It's a band.
So it's just an ad for the Bootleg Beatles.
Right.
Did you?
Message is brought to
You
you
saw
by-
them,
Actually, I'm gonna
and
raid
did
their
you
Twitch channel
start
right now.
thinking, you picked up the guitar. Did you start like thinking, I'm gonna make my own band?
So
And when did that start?
Several years later, I found. So my mum was in like a CD club at the place where she worked, where each person brought in an album. Another guy took them home and burnt copies for everybody, and they
Oh,
all
wow.
Nice.
got a copy. So I remember we had
Nice.
like the first Gorillaz album that way.
Oh, yeah.
Hell
And one
yeah.
of the CDs that she got was the Clash singles compilation, and I remember hearing this and just going like, "Holy fuck!"
Wait,
like,
what was
is
this? What compilation singles was that again? I'm sorry.
the Clash?
Oh, the Clash.
Oh, the Clash. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just
okay.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
okay, this is, and at this point I'm maybe like 10 or something, 10
Yeah.
or 11, and I'm like, holy shit. And then my mom's like, oh, well, if you like the Clash, you probably like the Undertones. And again, I'm just like, holy shit.
Nice.
So I guess kind of punk happens in my head,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
make up my mind that I want to play bass.
Nice.
And so a couple of years later, I get a bass and start trying to play in bands. So I guess it's that punk thing. I guess going back to what I said, that I think early Beatles is just slower Ramones songs essentially, or
Yeah.
Ramones are sped up Beatles songs. That was the whole thing that kind of got me interested. But I never wanted to play guitar. I was never interested in guitar. I always
Just
wanted
bass.
to play bass.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted
Spine
to
of
be
the
a
band. Spine of the band, man.
bassist.
Right.
Yeah.
Respect.
So did you start playing in bands locally at that point? Like maybe by the time you got to high school?
So I always tried to put bands together. So
Yeah.
parallel to this, my brother, who was a few years older, was always in bands, was always doing stuff. And he was always like the front man.
Mhm.
I wanted to play bass in a band, and it just never really came together. It never really happened. And
Yeah.
then I found out that there was a piece of software coming out for a DS called Korg DS10. And I was like, well, hey, I've got a DS. Maybe I can just make music on my own.
Interesting.
So I got that, was thoroughly confused by it, but kept trying. And eventually I was like, oh, well, people make music on Game Boys too. So LSD.
I wondered if you were referring to a Nintendo
that's really
DS, but I
interesting.
didn't want to look like an idiot.
So then Tom is getting his introduction to electronic production by the PC music, by the software, by the CDs. You're getting your introduction almost through like a chiptune sort of
Yeah.
circuit.
Yeah.
Game Boys
That's
and
interesting.
Nintendo
Yeah.
DSs.
It's interesting how you guys
Actually-
came to this through different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I basically got sick of not having musical friends to make music with, so tried to figure out how I could make music on my own.
Oh.
Skipped the computer side and was like, well, games consoles. I've got games consoles, so I can do that. So I got into making chiptune, and that was the kind of first proper music that I made. I did solo chiptune stuff for several years. First of all, just with a Game Boy, and then doing a kind of punk thing with Game Boy and playing guitar.
I feel like a lot of people in this scene started with chiptune.
Yeah, you're not the first person we've talked to.
A lot of video game fans in the vaporwave scene.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So then,
yeah, not to spoil, but that's when mine and Tom's stories begin to.
And this is where I come in.
So this is kind of what I want to hear about. So now, just really quick though, with Tom, you obviously you were listening to music, you were getting inspired by it, but then you were introduced to the idea of production, and that was the game changer for you. Had you played a lot of traditional instruments prior to that, or done a lot of like bands prior to that?
Yeah, so kind of, sort of the same thing as Euan, really trying to like get people together to, you know, make shitty little pop punk bands or whatever with your mates, and you know, we all wanted to. I mean, quite the opposite of you, and we all wanted to play guitar, and no one wanted to learn the drums or the bass or whatever. So it just all never kind of came together, and yeah, sort of finding like, oh, I can do this myself without having to take the road of, say, just being some guy singing with an acoustic guitar, which I did also try it at one point. And that was
I tried that too for a minute.
Oh, no way.
Oh my god, I tried doing that too at one point, and like I have some of those old songs, and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? It's oh man, do you just cringe when you think back of that? You're like, what option do I have? Like, I want to play music, and all the guys myself. I guess I have to try and be Elliott Smith, and I'm not going to do a good job at it. I'm like, I'm not going to
be that singer-songwriter.
Honestly, I think it was the impetus of me like looking at it's like the options, Chris, are you either learn electronic music or you have to keep doing that. And I'm like, no, thank you, sir. No, I'll learn.
Or start
I'll learn
busking
so
in
many
the subway.
synthesizers just to avoid having to do that kind of music again. So anyway, so now you guys are both working on music. So I know that we're getting close to the meeting point, right? We're getting close to like the real turning point here, when like the two members of Topaz Gang like meet each other and worlds collides and stars are shining bright, and the convergence point, you know, the real inflection point between like the before and the after, you know what I mean? And the world would never be the same. So I'll let you go. How'd you guys meet?
I guess not that many people in Newcastle were making music with Game Boys, so it was fairly inevitable we would end up within each other's orbits. Tom was doing the chiptune thing before me. He was almost the kind of chiptune generation before me. Tom and a couple.
Damn, are you saying he's older than you?
He's like
I'm way older.
Way older.
I think I got about 7 or 8 years on you, right?
No.
7 or 8
you're
years?
Like you're like 3 years older than me. 4, maybe.
He's the old guard.
I got 7 or 8 years on you.
No way.
I don't want to ask you anything about age, like live on it.
Oh my god.
I'm nearly 30, dude.
I mean, I'm way past 30.
Man, you're
yeah, so I must only be, like 5 years older than you then.
Yeah, you're like the same age as my brother.
And me and Skelly sounds like.
Yeah, the very
George Clanton is 45.
I think me and your brother were born the same age.
George Clanton's 45,
George Clanton
guys.
is not 45.
He said he was. What, do you think he's lying?
Oh, he said he was. What? You think someone would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies?
I mean, I don't.
Crazy. No one would do that. That's crazy. No, whatever.
So, how did you guys meet? Were you at a show together? Was it Facebook?
Did you guys know that you were gonna?
Did one of you steal the other? Did you pop up in that like DS little social network thing that they had?
No. They met at a Bootleg Beatles concert. Let's get back to the
is.
real stars of this story. The real stars of tonight's Bootleg Beatles.
Bootleg Beatles. You know what? I don't actually remember. The first time
I thought this fool was about to say he didn't actually like the Beatles. I was going to be like,
well, I don't like the Beatles.
I just don't like the Beatles.
That's because Tom prefers the Bootleg Beatles to the Beatles.
Oh, shit.
Fair enough.
We'll save that for the audience questions, but the Beatles are overrated as fuck.
God damn.
Beatles, save them till the end of the show. I know you got a lot. Euan's gonna field all of them. Anyway,
they've had this conversation before.
I'm having a nice time. I'm having a nice time tonight. All right, let's keep going.
Oh man, there used to be an online, I don't know, forum or file sharing site, I guess. And if anyone in the chat knows of the 8-Bit Collective, smash some buttons right now.
Yeah.
So I think we'd kind of came across, me and Euan had kind of sort of crossed paths virtually on 8BC, and then it was like, I think one of us must have put like in one of the forums like, "Oh, I'm playing in Newcastle. Everyone come see." And
sick.
And then the other one would have been like, "Oh, you're in Newcastle. I'm in Newcastle." We're talking like, oh, man, like 17 years ago or something here, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to piece this together in my head the other day about how long we've been making music together and various guises that we'll get onto, and it's at least like 12, 13 years that we've been
that's
making
so
music
cool.
together, which is a bit mad. So, yeah.
Long story short, I don't remember how me and Euan met.
No.
Great.
No,
Great.
I think
This is good
we were
content,
just,
guys.
I mean, I remember meeting my co-DJ in Vegas the same way. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
Hey
fair
guys,
enough.
vaporwave night, you know, or not vaporwave night.
So
but-
then, did you guys automatically take to kind of working with each other? Was this like, oh yeah, you know, we have similar.
Yeah.
You know what? This also actually, I have another question now. Since you guys are getting into electronic music, you guys are getting into the LSDJ stuff. Where did you had traditionally been listening to a lot of rock bands? Can you tell me about some of the first electronic acts you started listening
Great
to that
question,
inspired
Dan.
you? Because like clearly, once you get into production, you can't really just go back to like Linkin Park or the Bootleg Beatles. You kind of have to like look at some other stuff to be like, okay, this is a whole other medium of music. I need some mentors to listen to. So what was some of the first electronic music you guys started really connecting with? Euan first, and then Tom.
There was this whole moment where all the indie kids seemed to start using synthesizers.
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
did.
Hot Chip
Definitely was.
really
Yeah,
big
they
for
did.
me.
Definitely
and
was.
that
Passion
like
Pit
Klaxon.
and
like-
shit.
Well, I was thinking like for like klaxons and all that stuff too. First,
Yeah,
before
yeah,
Passion Pit.
klaxons and all that kind of stuff was just when I was discovering
Hot Chip.
this stuff. So yeah, Hot Chip, Block Party, LCD Sound System, that whole generation, that whole scene, that was kind of what really drew me in to more electronic stuff. I kind of didn't really intend to go down an electronic path. It felt like I got into this music and I started finding out how to make music for myself at the same time, and it kind of all went together. So, and then got into chiptune and stuff like Anamanaguchi.
There you go.
The fucking gods of that for me. So, yeah.
Did you get into any kind of experimental electronic stuff? Did you maybe start listening to Boards of Canada or Aphex Twin or?
No, I totally skipped that whole.
Wow.
One Point Never?
No.
You really?
It was.
We got to that eventually.
I was an indie kid. I was.
Yeah, we were all indie kids. Well, did
Yeah.
you listen to any of like
I
the
was
indie tronica stuff? I mean, did you listen to any like the Bloghouse stuff, like Justice or
Postal
like, any of that?
Service, Daft Punk.
Yeah, that was all
you get into
kind
that
of on
stuff?
the periphery. I think at
Interesting.
first I was like, "Ew, no, it's dance music."
Yeah, that was the whole
that's what
point
they
of-
all call it.
I mean,
dance.
that's the quote from LCD Sound System. Is I was the first to play Daft Punk to the rock kids. Everybody thought that was crazy. We all know that's like that line from Losing My Edge. Best
Right.
song ever written.
Mhm.
Love that song.
Best song
lyrics
ever
song.
written. Ever?
Best lyrics ever written. Yes.
Wow.
Mhm. Because it's
High
all about
praise.
how cool is always changing and how everybody thinks they know what cool is, but they're wrong. All the cool kids are always jealous of the ones coming up. All the ones coming up are always jealous of the ones already there. And at the end of the day, it's all a bunch of fucking jibber jabber. None of it makes any sense. That's why the last portion of the song is him just listing Jill, Scott, Heron, and like all that music. It means fucking nothing. It's just fucking mishmash jibber jabber words. It's like the ultimate like, you know, what the fuck does cool even mean? And it's always
Yeah.
changing. And it's
I
like
feel
such an
that.
interesting, sarcastic, but sincere thing. You know what I mean? It's the best lyrics I've ever read to a song. Like, I heard you trading your turntables for guitars. I heard you're trading your guitars for synthesizers. I heard you're throwing out your synthesizers and getting turntables, and you want an analog synthesizer because you want to make something real. It's the best. But I was there, and the narrator always states he's there. I was there in 1975 when Captain Beefheart did his first like record.
Fucking Captain Beefheart.
He's always like, they're always like, you always have that person that's like, but I was there when this happened, and that was what was important. So the narrator just happens to be there in like all these different decades, and like, you know what I mean? But like, it's great. I heard, we're losing, there's that one like half-remembered fake nostalgia from the 80s. Like there's a line like that where he says it's the best lyrics ever written in any song and will never be topped. Anyway, the point
somebody
is,
post the entirety of those lyrics in chat.
Oh, anyway, so Tom, what electronic stuff did you start getting into?
I mean, yeah, probably about the same. The whole new rave thing came about, and I was like, because before that it's really weird being like a guy who was like super into like new metal and Linkin Park and stuff like that, and kind of completely missing the dance and the electronic music influence that it had on new metal, and just that part of it just going over my head, like, no, rock music is real music.
We gotta have that hard shit.
Dance music sucks. Yeah. Right? And then like the whole new rave thing comes about, like klaxons and
Shirobon? Not Shirobon. Hadouken.
No.
Remember
I know I was thinking about
Is that another chiptune band?
Let me ask you, did you guys listen to Radiohead? No. What about Radiohead? Did you guys listen to a lot?
You know what?
I never bothered with Radiohead.
I like a
You never
Radiohead.
bothered with Radiohead? What is this? Am I
This is
speaking
a
to British
hot
people right? I did not know.
take.
Wait a second. I thought that
Only the hottest takes.
British people don't listen to Radiohead?
That's
oh my
a
god.
hot
I can't believe this.
Just Euan doesn't.
You said you didn't. Did I
don't
mishear
know.
you?
They were always this band that everyone was like, yeah, man, like, you probably doesn't get Radiohead. And I was like, I'm not interested.
So fuck it. I'm never gonna listen to it just to spite you. That's been that's Chris with
I did not see that
twins.
coming. Now you don't listen to OK Computer, Amnesiac. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm
what about? I know you guys like Gorillaz. You guys must have listened to Gorillaz though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's like electronic.
I mean, I like Radiohead.
Okay.
But
Ooh, what's your favorite album?
By Radiohead.
Get that one in real quick.
Like, easy.
Which one?
In Rainbows is.
Oh, okay, that was an easy one.
Oh, that's
I mean,
cool
I feel
choice.
like that's
a fair answer.
Choice, but...
Pretty cool choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is it obvious?
So, wait. But Tom, at what point you didn't? So you guys, at what point do you guys start making music together? And what was like the initial sort of collaboration? Like,
I would like to know this too.
Was it Topaz Gang right away, or what did it sound like?
Oh, it's the chillwave years.
Yeah. So to begin with, it was Betamax, which is like a sort of chillwave thing that keeps alluding to in the chat.
Did you guys get into that? So then I guess that's my question. Did you guys? What about like when that stuff started coming around, like Neon Indian and Washed Out?
Yeah, that was kind of the pivot from new rave and being electronic and chiptune, and then going like, oh, chillwave's kind of taken over now. Let's do that, and then like, oh, I can do that. I can take a sample and play keyboard over it, whatever the fuck else. And then I realized I couldn't do that by myself and not live. I was like, "What? I know someone who's really cool with synths and plays bass and is ginger. I'll
is ginger
all the criteria?
Yeah, ticking all the boxes. So I asked you and I was like, "Oh, Euan, do you want to kind of join in on this thing I'm doing?" And sort of, yeah.
We did a couple.
That's the first
shows?
like official.
You guys did a couple
thing.
shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
That's
opened
badass.
for Blackbird.
Yeah.
Blackbird.
Fun.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, by the way, they
Huge throwback.
released on Neon City. Did you know that, Chris?
They did?
Yeah. Do you remember Blackbird?
Of course.
Apparently, they released an album on Neon City like 4 years ago. But of course, I remember them as like the chillwave band from the early 2010s.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, so do I. I didn't know. I mean, that's how I.
What was it with just repeating the same word? There was Germany, Blackbird.
Oh man, there was a lot.
Fucking
of that.
who
I'm
else
trying to think of
was
another
there?
one.
Or you had to have the word tapes in your name.
Oh, there was a lot of memory tapes and.
Tapes and tapes.
I was just listening to Blackbird in the car.
Memory cassette.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, the song called Bodies. That's what was just on my playlist. Yeah.
What was the?
Blackbird.
I don't mean to steal your question session.
No, go for
what
it.
was
You-
playing
please
live
go.
as Topaz Gang? What was playing live like?
You guys did a few live shows. I saw you posting on Facebook
Yeah.
about them back in the day.
What was the setup
it was
like?
super.
He said it was stupid.
Initially,
Stupid.
No.
Initially,
I mean, it was
Betamax,
stupid, but
you had your SP404, right?
That's kind of what I expected.
actually, I had the Boss SP202,
Oh, yes, you did.
Whoa,
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
which is just a 404, but way worse.
Nice.
It's like a
I
proto
love that.
404.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of Boss
Yeah.
stuff that's like sort of like I got a little Boss DRM drum machine, which is like a takeoff of some other better drum machine thing. I can't remember.
Yeah. So
I
we
used
had,
it for
we
the
had
last
the
live show we did.
202 we had a Yamaha RY20 drum machine, which is also fucking dog shit, and the memory card was fried, so you couldn't save any patterns or anything on it.
Oh my god! Wow, some real working class
you know what,
music.
I was-
I remember what I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was using.
I was thinking about this the other day, Euan. You had this little.
I had a little Casio.
It was like yeah. You had the Casio. You had the keyboard that you could plug your phone into.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which Casio was it?
It was a VL tone, like the VL1.
Oh, wow. Oh, the
Little
VL one.
VL1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so funny. You can circuit bend those guys.
I was going to
remember.
ask you guys if you did any circuit
Yeah.
bent stuff. Thank you.
Little bit. I was so I like studied electronics at school.
Sick.
Made a synthesizer. So I was always quite interested in that kind of stuff, but I never did a lot. So I have 2 VL tones and I circuit bent one of them, but
Hard.
the other pristine.
Makes sense.
So yeah, it was super DIY to begin with. Not even DIY. Oh, we had
And
the
I think
we had a Porter sound as well, didn't we? Back in
Oh
the day.
yeah. I think you
One of the
played that
really
maybe.
small
I
ones.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only did was it 2 gigs as Betamax maybe? I
Yeah,
can't remember
like 2
more
or 3.
than 2.
Not many.
And then as Lux keeps mentioning, it happened. Betamax died.
Why did
Do we
Betamax
get
die?
into why it
Betamax
died?
died?
We've got to get it. It's the
P-Line.
birth story of Topaz Gang, so we
Was
have
it
to.
was it the single?
We haven't talked about Topaz Gang yet,
That one
and
song.
nearly an
We're
hour
getting
in,
there.
so-
We're getting there. All right. So then how did Topaz? So Betamax like we got to redesign where we're going sonically, where we're going conceptually. Is that what happened?
No,
It was kind of just a coincidence.
we got deleted from the internet.
We got
Oh.
deleted.
Oh damn!
So you had to. Your hand was twisted. Your arms were twisted. You had to do
I
Oh,
something.
man.
think you need to explain this one, Tom.
by one very upset Italo artist. Do we name and shame? That was crazy, Lux.
Nobody's gonna.
Yeah,
they're not gonna
P-Line.
know. I say go for it.
P-Line, probably still listening. Probably still like dreams of us at night. I don't know. We sampled this old Italo song and maybe interpolated a few of the lyrics as well. And just like I remember one day I was at work. This was like 2012 or something. So I was at work and I went on my break at work and I looked at my phone. I had like hundreds of SoundCloud notifications. I was like, yo, we must have gone on some blog or something and got like mad tweets or whatever. So I was like checking it out and it was just loads of really angry Italo fans like, you stole this song. I'm going to report you. And then like P-Line himself was messaging us like, delete this song. You stole this. This is
Really?
my song. You have stolen music. I was like,
Unreal.
Oh my god.
I think
Unreal.
I think I just kind of fucked with him. I was like, no, I'm not deleting it. Get fucked.
Nice.
Unreal.
So we just got reported on like every site that we operated on, and just it all got taken down. Like the Bandcamp got taken down, the SoundCloud was gone.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's awful.
Wow, man. You
I think
guys,
the
that's
Facebook
a
page
hard
survived.
decision.
MySpace page was gone.
MySpace.
Wow. MySpace page was gone.
Lion
So-
fucking nuked us.
Yeah.
Continue fucking with P-Lion. We changed our name. We changed the name of the song that we stole, ripped him off from, and uploaded it again. And it's still there now. He never found out. And we sampled him again. Fuck you, P-Lion.
Fuck you, P-Lion. You heard it on Hot Takes.
You heard it on Hot Takes.
Damn, son.
P-Lion's fucking incredible, though. His album is so good. But fuck him.
Damn, that sucks. Never meet your heroes.
Wow. Wow.
Never sample your heroes, at least.
Never sample
Right.
your heroes.
Never sample your heroes.
And then they stole your name.
Wow, yeah.
Wait. Who
So
stole the name?
Oh, I'm joking around. There's a synthwave artist called Betamax.
Oh yeah, that was like it was kind of a blessing in disguise. There's actually a lot of bands called Betamax, and there was like I don't even know. It was like a DJ locally, like in the Northeast, called Beat, like like as in the Beatles, Betamax.
Oh, unreal.
And it was just kind of like, all right, we need to kind of
we need to change the game here. We need to change the name. So where'd you come up with Topaz Gang?
Yeah, King Quartz actually asked in chat.
Generator. King Quartz did ask this. There was a Witch House name generator.
Oh,
Witch House name generator.
I remember that. It had the
Shout
skull on the
out.
front, and you clicked it. It's like a Witch House name generator. Yeah, I totally remember that.
Yeah.
I've clicked on that thing a few times.
You were smart to not put any like non-alphabetic characters in there. So you could be searchable.
I'm surprised. Like honestly, like Skeleton Lipstick practically could be one of the names that was generated from that thing. It could potentially be like it wasn't, but like it might as well.
Is it still online?
Chillwitchnamemagic.com. I think Lux might have found
I'm
it.
Sure it is. Yeah.
Is that it?
So
no
good.
way. Everybody go find your Witch House name right now.
I remember
That's
this website. Yeah, with the skull on it and everything.
That's so fucking cool, Lux.
Yeah, how many times
Infinite Glitter. It actually generates really good names. Infinite Glitter.
Yeah.
If my computer didn't suck
shiny
balls and
crown.
dick, I would check right now.
Free grave with the triangle.
Yeah, you gotta have the triangle instead of an A.
With Color Elixir, Haunted Parade with A's. Oh man, this is actually probably the best name. This is the best name generator.
C-Punk name generator win.
It's so good.
Acid Nothing.
For real.
Acid Nothing?
Oh,
That's really good.
I got Topaz.
Oh my god.
I got Topaz on it.
Power Ankle?
Dude, Teenage Fangs. With like triangles.
I don't know. I prefer Power Ankle.
Power Ankle. Easily the best name generator that's like ever been
Topaz Gang is fire as fuck though.
So if someone clicked on that long enough, they might have Topaz Gang show up on it, huh?
Well, I
I'm
just clicked on it a
trying to
bunch
do
of
it right
times,
now.
and I've got.
You're trying to do it right now,
which is Topaz C. I've got. So
nice.
It's close.
I don't know. Teenage Fangs. That could be like some like. Yeah,
that's a chillwave ass name.
Topaz.
Well,
that's like a Vampire Weekend type.
I was actually thinking like that Teenage Fangs is like one of those like LA bands that's like sort of lo-fi guitar rock. You know?
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
Oh, man.
Like lo-fi garage
like Waves
band.
or some shit.
Looks, guys.
I was thinking like or like LA
Looks
Vampires
guy.
even like something like that.
Yeah, LA Vampires is pretty cool.
LA Vampires is pretty cool. Teenage Fangs, I could totally see like a band that's like a lo-fi garage rock band calling themselves that. Anyway, so Topaz Gang is born. I have a question. At this point, when you started Topaz Gang, were you aware of the vaporwave stuff yet? Or was it you probably were coming out around? Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So Vektroid sent. I mean, this is probably a few years before that. Vektroid sent me unfinished versions while she was still working on of Floral Shop, New Dreams Limited, Initiation Tape, and Fuji Grid TV.
Nice.
And, like I was so we were doing like chillwave at this point. I was like, ooh.
So let's pause for a second. So you had already sort of entered that world of that, like the proto version of the scene where like all of a sudden we're just meeting people and you're getting like Facebook friend requests from people that you've never met before, but are artists. And you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like I'm starting a scene here. You may be following some blogs. I'm sure you guys were following Mr. Nonsense and all that stuff. Yeah. And like that, remember that chillwave, glo-fi, hypnagogic pop Facebook group?
Yeah, is that?
Yeah,
that must be
Post
gone
Chillwave
now,
Surfer, or was that also Mr. Nonsense?
That was all. That was Mr. Nonsense's Facebook group.
That was his
Chillwave,
Facebook.
Lo-fi, hypnagogic.
No. Post Chillwave Surfer, SRFR.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that too.
Yeah.
But so, like, what did you guys think about that?
It's
Like,
still
all the
online.
is it still online?
I
Still there.
mean, it's not been decided to post since 22nd of March 2021. But
Wow,
wow.
that's way more recent than I thought there'd be posts on that thing. Because
Yeah,
Mateo
for
sort of
real.
dipped out. Mateo sort of dipped out after the first wave, like around like 2013, 2014. Shout out Mateo Coffieri, wherever you are, though, for
Hell yeah.
hosting that. And
Holy
like in my opinion, designing the first version of the logarithm for this kind of music. Because my theory is that Well, he hosted everybody's, because we used to make YouTube videos back then, right? That's like what we would do to help promote our single. Is we would go online, steal a bunch of old commercials, cut them together in a fun way, or find somebody who was really good at cutting together the commercials in a really fun way. Like what's his name? The most famous one. He did a music video for you guys too. Who's the most famous guy who did that? Lux knows him. Very famous.
Patrick Lou Damage.
Oh yeah, Patrick Lou Damage.
Oh, Patrick Lou Damage. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. Patrick Lou Damage. Yeah, he did the music video for you guys, right? And
he's been around forever. We got to bring him
so
on here.
talented. Oh, for real. Definitely.
So like either like you had him do it or you did it yourself, and like the thing was because there's a way to promote your music.
Oh, David Dean Burkhart.
David Dean Burkhart. Thank you. That's
Lux
what I
knows
wanted to shout.
everything.
David Dean Burkhart. Thank you. Because he did a music video for you guys as well. And Patrick Lou Damage, actually, shout out to him, huge collection of vaporwave paraphernalia, like since the beginning. Like has probably the biggest collection.
Or just like retro paraphernalia in general.
Is he in like Lithuania or
Patrick
something
Films
like that?
lives in like Russia or Belarus.
Patrick Lou Damage is like in like Russia. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was Russia or Lithuania or something. I was trying to send him a copy of like this Glows the Melts tape, but like I had no idea how to send it to like these weird addresses. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. But anyhow, so yeah, but that was the thing is like because blogs were a thing, and that was where you would promote your music was like you just send it to these upstart blogs, and you could send a SoundCloud link, of course, or a Bandcamp link, of course, but it might sweeten the deal if you also send a YouTube video that they could embed in their page, right? Because that's like a little bit more eye-grabbing if you can send all those things. So I theorized that people like Mr. Nonsense who would post everybody's YouTube videos in the same place, like on his Facebook page, on his his Tumblr, right? And if the more that you're posting these 8 artists together who have 0 views initially, right? But you keep posting them all together over and over and over again for a couple of years or so, a few years or so, well, that's gonna like just create a logarithm that associates that all together, right? So I theorized that he was one of the big people to develop the first version of the logarithm for like vaporwave stuff.
Definitely. And it's like it's such a special feeling, like when someone you don't know or someone you've not met, or like you just kind of come across like someone has uploaded your music on the internet without you knowing about it, without you asking or being involved, like someone separate to me and outside of my circle. I mean, I guess he was probably inside the circle, but we didn't know each other, and it's like, you know, this person took time out of their day and listened to this thing I did, and they liked it enough to, you know, go to the effort to put it on YouTube so that other people will hear it. That's so exciting.
Yeah. So what was it like when you started
now,
getting
over a decade later?
Yeah.
That's
got to
be
like when you first
incredibly
started
validating.
getting like friend requests from people like all over the world, and you're like, wow, this is interesting. And like I'm like talking like, you remember you guys were just talking about how you're like, well, we were the only 2 people making chiptune and electronic music in our area, and now all of a sudden like you're not alone anymore. You're getting all these other people. What was that like?
You know what? It's a long time ago.
It was crazy. You don't remember? I remember thinking this is crazy.
I mean, I remember getting a lot of friend requests and
like I feel like we were always kind of on the periphery though. I feel like we never particularly tried to I feel like certain people, like some people like really pursue being a part of a scene, and we definitely kind of said like, oh, like there's this vaporwave thing happening, like this is really interesting. I remember Tom saying like, oh, there's this new thing, it's kind of come out of chillwave. I've been playing around with it, like let's do something around this. But we always kind of sat slightly on the edge of it, I feel. So I don't know.
Are you talking about the chillwave vaporwave divide?
You're talking about vaporwave?
No, just like the vaporwave scene.
So I love that. I mean,
we were there, but
do you feel like you were in the outer circle? You mean?
Yeah, slightly, just kind of on the edge of it. I think it's always been really interesting.
Not in a bad way.
Not to me.
No, not in a bad way. Like it's really that's the really interesting thing. Like loads of people really really supported us, and it's always kind of weirded me out how much support and how much longevity the project's had. When we didn't really pursue that, we kind of were like, oh, here's a cool thing. Our internet presence for our old band is dead anyway. Like, let's try something different. And we kind of just did our own thing in some ways. Although obviously, you know, we did collabs with St. Pepsi and Vektroid and Lux and a bunch of others. So we were there and we were pals with all these people, but yeah, I'm not sure we ever kind of tried too hard to be within the scene.
I will say I did notice that, and I kind of liked it. You guys just kind of did what you wanted, and you never tried. You never tried too hard, and that I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, I think that
thanks.
That's probably why over a decade later we're still making music together, and we've been able to kind of sort of shift, change what we do and try different things, and completely pivot to different genres.
Before we get into audience questions, do you guys want to tell us about your current project, starting with Tom?
Well, I am pretty much just like I don't know, how do you say it? Sort of, Euan's kind of the lead on that one.
I got you.
I really need to grab a drink, so I'm going to let Euan.
We're going to let Euan talk about it?
I gambled and lost.
I mean, there's a 50-50 chance.
True.
Yeah, so I think our main current project, Novyi Lef, is kind of the other side of the coin to Topaz Gang. So whereas that conceptually was driven by Tom, and him kind of bringing me on board, Novyi Lef is kind of more conceptually driven by me, bringing Tom on board. So it's a kind of coldwave, synth punk kind of thing. It's not sample based like Topaz Gang and Betamax, where it's a different approach. It's like a hardware based approach.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the thing we've been doing for a bunch of years now as well. But it kind of, I don't know, it feels like recently we have focused on Novyi Lef, but it isn't that Topaz Gang turned into Novyi Lef. They sit alongside each other, and we could, like we have kind of said several times, we've got more synths and stuff nowadays, and we've said like, what would a Topaz Gang hardware set sound like? Like how would we approach
that's a cool approach.
That's really awesome. That's interesting.
That feels like something we're probably going to end up doing at some point for some reason. Like, yeah, Topaz Gang is not dead in any way, even though we haven't really done anything for a while. And we're mostly doing Novyi Lef stuff because that maybe lends itself a little more to playing live currently. But yeah, they kind of balance each other out, I think.
I like it. Thoughts on is it Novyi Lef? Novyi Lef?
Novyi Lef. Novyi Lef.
Thoughts on that project, Tom?
Say again, sorry.
Thoughts on the Novyi Lef project?
Yeah, we would. Goodness me, my throat, my voice is giving out now.
Oh, you poor thing.
So yeah, we were chatting about this a little bit off air. So because Isaac had kind of asked, when did the switch initially happened, and you were kind of curious as to why we did it. And while me and Euan have very different reasons for it, it was kind of we did at the same time decide it was time to do something new. Like for me, it was when David Bowie died, and I was like, oh, now I have to make proper music, or proper music.
Mm-hmm.
And around the same time, Euan came to me and was like, oh, I've been trying this new thing. It's like all with like synths and stuff like that. And I was like, cool, this is perfectly timed because that's exactly what I need to do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a few things kind of came together because I, like I said before, was playing like kind of solo punk gigs, like chiptune, which was loads of fun, but I was also really, really sick of doing it too. I wanted to make something that felt a bit more interesting. And I wanted to get more into hardware synths, especially listening to Kathleen Hanna after Bikini Kill and before Latifah.
Julie Ruin.
Album.
Yeah, it's a great album. The Julie Ruin album. Nailed
most
it.
incredible record.
Damn, I've not heard
Hell
it.
yeah.
Really like.
I don't get to talk to many.
lo-fi,
I love that album. Yeah,
gritty,
I haven't talked to too many people who've listened to it actually. I love that.
So
album.
good.
It's really,
so
really
good.
Yeah.
And that was a really big.
We've been waiting for years to mention that to somebody. Thanks, Euan. I've been waiting for years to bring that album up.
That's his sleeper agent phrase. You just activated
That's
it.
my sleeper agent, the Julie Ruin. Like, I love that album. I haven't really talked to too many people about it, but I've been waiting for someone. I love that album a lot, though. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it gets rediscovered by some people. Check it out, guys.
Way out of print and stuff, but that was this real moment of going like, oh shit, you can make interesting, slightly punk inflected kind of music that's maybe slightly lo-fi in its production with hardware synths, and kind of how far can we take that? So that kind of came just as like we did a fair bit of stuff with Topaz Gang. We didn't play a bunch of gigs, but we played more than we did with Betamax. So we played a festival in Madrid, which was our first.
Ooh, okay.
First gig.
Just certainly drop that one in there.
Well, I just feel like just weird stuff happened with Topaz Gang. We soundtracked a Gucci advert.
What?
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's out on the
I didn't
internet.
know that shit.
Topaz
Gang on a Gucci ad?
Oh man, hang on.
That's key.
That's unbelievable. G's in the chat.
And yeah, we did a couple of the gigs. It was always like a little cobbled together. We did a really fun thing in a weird office building in Newcastle where we like live sampled some Doctor Who sound effects record that I've got.
I think I saw pictures of that.
Oh, that's interesting.
That was fun. So yeah, we were always looking to do different things with it. It always felt like a vehicle to kind of play with this kind of sample based music. But I guess I kind of went, hey Tom, do you want to do this other different thing? And we've kind of run with that since. But yeah, reiterate, Topaz Gang isn't dead, and I'm sure it'll.
Ooh, you heard it on Hot Takes. Do you want to get another good one in, Chris, before we turn it over to the audience questions?
Man, we really covered a lot of ground actually with all these questions.
We did. Normally we do audience
here.
questions starting at the top of the
hour.
All
right, wait. One really
got
quick.
One more. I know you do.
That. What was it? So when. How do you feel about the current state of all the Topaz Gang releases? Is there more stuff that you want to re-release at some point? Like, do you think there's going to be a new release for Topaz Gang one day? And the albums that have come out already, do you think you would consider re-releasing them? Particularly something like what's it called?
Tuxedo Princess.
Thank you, Tuxedo Princess. Yeah, that's it.
I can't find this.
I think I've actually I've asked Tom about this actually multiple times. I've asked Tom about Tuxedo Princess multiple times over the years actually. But yeah.
Tuxedo Princess feels like our statement album. That feels like the classic Topaz Gang album. We re-released some of the songs from it on the Palm Tree FM vinyl release.
Nice.
It would be fun to do that as a full album re-release. Tom, I'm gonna send this in the Facebook chat because I'm not on Twitch and I can't post anything in the chat on here.
Damn.
But I found the Gucci advert. So someone else put that in the chat. I put it in Facebook chat.
Well, shit, I'm gonna have to find a way to put this on here.
It would be cool to do
I'm not in touch on my phone. That'll not work.
Tuxedo. Fuck. Just soak up the sun. Gucci soak up the sun on YouTube. That's it.
Gucci soak
Tuxedo
up
Princess
the sun.
proper re-release would be really cool. I think the last album that we did, Cypress Skate Plaza, was really. We tried to do something a bit different with it, and I still really, really, really like that album. I like. We intentionally like really, really fucked with the production, so we after we kind of finished arranging the songs, we exported them in like as low quality as we could, and then recorded them to tape as kind of we drove it, so we kind of distorted it onto the tape. We maxed out the levels and then recorded that back in, and that's the final version of the album.
Unreal.
Was really interested at the time about how the different audio formats kind of degrade that audio, how that affects the sounds. I had this great MP3 of fucking Blink 182 song, "Feeling It." Is that the name of the song? That one anyway. And it had "Feeling This." That's it. And I had this ancient MP3 of it, and it was really, really distorted, and you had this
just like
amazing
crunchy
sound
as
on
fuck.
the hi-hats.
Oh, that's cool.
You think that sounds amazing? Okay.
Very, very
It was
lossy.
so cool. And so we're really interested in bringing that. I mean, there's that Brian Eno quote where he talks about.
I know exactly what you're going to talk
Skelly
about.
loves this.
The limitations of the technology at the time is what people are going to become the hallmark in the future, and that's what people will try and recreate.
96 kbps as fuck.
Yeah, everybody's always so fascinated with how far you can press technology, and it's those limitations that become like it's like calling card and its affectation that everybody sort of like loves later on in life. The limits of the human beings in general.
So is it fair to say Bit Crush is all y'all's favorite sound effect?
Well, no. So this will be more like lossy stuff, right? Like that's like the lossy stuff. Yeah. It's like glassy stuff. Yeah.
I think that album was maybe not as kind of pure vaporwave as Tuxedo Princess or Palm Tree FM or 24 Hour EP, but I think it was something really interesting. And
24 Hour EP.
That's really fucking
that's the album that needs more recognition.
24 Hour EP was completely made on the SP202.
Wow.
Wild.
Didn't know that.
It was so difficult.
I can't even fucking imagine. That sounds like a nightmare. I like bass
light
songs
up the chat with some questions for the boys.
Okay, so we can do some questions for the boys now. Yeah. All right, now we can go to some questions. For the boys from the audience.
We have a one that I almost said Topaz Gang. We have one that King Quartz asked. He asked about the name Topaz. So you guys kind of answered. You guys fully answered that one actually. Maybe you answered this one too. He asked what your biggest influence was.
Ooh.
How about for Topaz Gang, your biggest influence? Yeah, like specifically.
Yeah.
As Topaz Gang, it was probably those. Well, for me anyway, it was like those unfinished Vektroid albums.
Oh,
like Floral Shop and Fuji Grid TV, and like I remember her sending me like the unfinished version. She was like, "Hey, don't tell anyone that I made these." I was like, "That's so cool."
That's so cool.
But yeah, like
so cool.
Being like a chill wave guy at the time, and then like this sort of, I think, a pattern starts to emerge. When she sent me those, I was super ill. And a little bit like delirious from sort of flu medication or whatever, and I was like, "This sounds amazing! I got to do this." And
I love that you were like distorted on flu medication and fevers when you made your decision to start doing vaporwave. You were like, "That's so appropriate." That's so appropriate. Like, I need to make vaporwave.
Poor guy's sick all the time.
You're listening to these proto versions of like Fuji Grid TV and Macintosh Plus. You're sick from fever and you're on a lot of cold medicine. Like, I have to make vaporwave. That's great. It's a great origin story for that.
We got some other sick questions, but finish that thought first.
Finish your thought,
There was a pinned question that I've been dying to get back. I think
that's a good one. Is it pinned right? Tryptophan. Shout out Tryptophan, who's been around for like fucking decade probably.
Yeah.
Early fan of the chill wave and vaporwave. Early fan of TSQ dance, in fact. Tryptophan wanted to know, was there a side project called something about Hummers or Ferraris or something on SoundCloud?
So, the Betamax days, we did an EP that I think might still be online somewhere called DeLorean Mega Club. And I'm wondering
I remember DeLorean Mega Club, yeah. Shit, I probably have it.
So if Tryptophan is still here, that's not it. Ooh, then I don't know. Ferraris.
Yep. So if that's the one, he says that's not it.
It's not there. Ferraris. There's definitely nothing about
that EP is still on Bandcamp. Holy shit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, we must have got our Bandcamp back after the P-Line incident then.
P-Line.
Fibby cover. Oh, we're playing a gig on December the 16th at Belly Up Tavern in California.
Oh, damn.
According to Bandcamp.
According to Bandcamp.
nice.
Oh, cool. See you there.
Yeah.
See you there.
Hell yeah.
Betamax makes their return.
He had another question that I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah.
He said, "Why does Search for Animal Chin have the best music ever?"
Yeah.
Oh, because Search for Animal Chin is the best movie
I
ever.
knew you guys would know. What
I've got the
he's talking
soundtrack
about.
on vinyl. I have the
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Fucking
Wow.
They
The real one,
reissued
no.
it. Yes. Search for Animal Chin.
I guess I need to see this film.
That's,
I mean, yeah, absolutely, and it'll sound very familiar
Search
when
for
you do.
Animal Chin.
And it's also really good. Like, Euan probably knows the answer to this. How old was Tony Hawk in Search for Animal Chin?
shit, I don't know.
Tony
that,
Hawk
but
was
he's
in
like
this
a
movie?
Teenager.
Didn't
he
you
was like a
guys
baby.
make like it? Wasn't
Yeah, he was so young. He was like 12 or something. I don't know
Wild.
if he was actually 12. Yeah.
So
that
you guys like
Search
fuck
for
with
Animal Chin
skating?
is so
Like
good.
you mentioned skating a lot
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
songs.
Yeah,
Do you guys
wasn't
actually?
that one album? Which is didn't you do an album that was Cypress Skate Plaza?
Cypress
Isn't
Skate
that
Plaza.
sort of
Do you
like
guys
a-
do you guys actually skate? Like, did you grow up skating?
Wasn't that sort of like the idea of like a skate
did.
album soundtrack, like like a VHS skate album
Yeah.
sound? Yeah, wasn't that like Cypress
Mhm.
Skate Plaza was supposed to?
That
That
was
was
a
kind of the theme
deliberate
was, right?
choice, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you told
100%.
me about that. I remember.
I was kind of wondering. I
We
noticed
did-
a
we
theme.
did like
yeah,
a
that's it's not very
music
long.
video
It's
we
so
did
good.
for the music video we did for the single from Cypress Skate Plaza is like all skateboarding, and we did the same technique where we did we filmed it in like the lowest digital quality possible, and then put it onto VHS and fucked with the tracking, and then filmed a screen showing the VHS, and then that's the final
Unreal.
video.
You
So,
filmed the screen
yeah,
playing
it
the
was-
VHS.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
forgot
too
that we
cool.
did that.
And then you put it on a
That's
ghetto
cool.
blaster and recorded it with
Like
a
an old-
contact
An
microphone.
old ass like camcorder, like in front of a CRT TV or something.
Yeah, that was fun.
Time.
We don't.
We got
if you
a-
search Topaz Gang on. Oh, okay. It's on my YouTube channel, but yeah, the
Yeah.
title Cypress Skate Plaza.
Cypress Skate Plaza by
Video.
Topaz Gang. Watch it. Almighty Arceus. I don't want to botch your name there. What are the biggest video game soundtracks that inspire you?
Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage
No
2.
thoughts. Streets of Rage 2. That was actually yeah. Streets of Rage 2. When I first gave Betamax a try, it was a song. I was playing Streets of Rage 2 at the time. I was thinking maybe I should give this chillwave thing a try, and then I heard I think it's level 4 on Streets of Rage 2, and I was like, just the pieces just connected.
Ooh.
And it's so good.
Damn.
The whole soundtrack. In fact, to be
I've
honest,
not heard it.
all,
I guess
like,
I need to go hear it like
Streets
right
of Rage
now.
3.
Do you have it on
it's-
vinyl?
I think they released it on vinyl a couple of years ago, but I don't
Ah.
have it.
I don't know
I'm
that.
just joking. You would if you could, I'm sure.
You know what? Let me see. Streets of Rage. That's got to be on vinyl.
Yeah, they definitely released it on vinyl.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of expensive, but it's on red vinyl.
Red
Just
vinyl.
fucking dumb.
Damn, we're drop. You're freezing a little bit on your end. Damn. Streets of Rage vinyl. Run it up. Sell that shit out. What about you, Euan? What video game soundtracks smacked for you?
Yeah, definitely Streets of Rage. Obviously, all the music
Wow.
from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. As
Damn,
a
you guys don't
soundtrack.
fuck around.
We
Video
know what
games.
we're about.
Video
Can you
games.
guys fight?
Yeah. Do we fight?
Can you guys fight?
I don't think. Can we fight?
Wait,
Yeah.
Can we fight?
Like if somebody was just being rude at the Nando's,
Like in Streets
could
of
you
like
fight?
Streets of Rage style.
Oh, can we fight other people? Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you meant could we fight each other as like an exhibition?
No, like
boxing match?
can you fight? Like, would you win if you were in a fight?
No.
No.
I mean, so here's the thing. I can't speak for you, and I've never been in a fight. But
No.
if the passion in my heart had been so like lit up, like you know, what's the cause for me starting a fight? Is someone just being a dickhead? You know, like if someone's just being a dickhead, I'd be like, whatever. But you know, if moral wrongdoings are afoot and no one else can, you know, rise up, you know, I might get the shit beaten out of me, but at least I stood up.
At least you put up a good faith effort. And these are the things I have to ask, you know, on hot takes. I've asked every guest.
You ask every guest, can you fight?
No, I've never asked that question.
You're constructing a
Not once have I asked that dumbass question until tonight.
Maybe you should. Like
I honestly should. We're gonna fight, honestly, because you told me you don't like shoegaze music, so you know, it's on site. I know you're the one running the Topaz Gang.
Do you think
Twitter,
you could beat me in a fight?
I don't know, bud. How tall are you?
6 foot, maybe a
You're
little bit.
You're shitting me. You're 6 foot.
I'm a long man.
Ewan, how tall are you?
Like 6'1" or 6'2".
Jesus God, you guys are tall. I didn't know you guys were that tall. No, I'm short as fuck. I'm like 5'4". I have no idea you guys are that tall. That's pretty cool.
I guess as a duo, we have a bit of an advantage as well.
Yeah, 2v1.
Shit, that's true. Okay, for no more joshing around. All right, serious questions only for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Gotcha. Lux had a great question. I know, I'm just messing with you. Yeah. Lux wanted to know, and this is an amazing question, what was the motivation to switch around the track list for Palmtree.fm and Tuxedo Princess with the reissues?
So, for Palm Tree, when it got re-released, it was a very deliberate choice that one of the songs we sampled on there had, one of the songs on there had a sample from R. Kelly. And it was like kind of like, in hindsight, we were like, we do not fuck with that at all.
And we want
nothing to do with.
Makes sense.
You know, yeah. There was some tracks got moved around on the Tuxedo Princess re-release, and that was just straight up a mistake. And then by the time I noticed it was too late. It had already like gone to print. Like, well, that's just how it's fine. I think literally the only thing that happened is that like the sample that comes in at the start of Photo Me featuring Mesh randomly plays at the end of some other song.
And dog, you're shitting. Like, wow.
You know what? Here's the thing. I was like, it was too late. I was like, no one's gonna notice, right? So thank you, Luxury Elite, for
Luxury Elite probably
bringing
noticed
that to the attention of everyone in the chat.
Oh man, you know what? Like that's the hallmark, though. Like Brian Eno said.
I've always,
dude, I love asking. What's something we've always wanted to know about, and what's the deep hidden meaning behind why you did this deliberate choice? The artist will be like, "It was a fucking mistake. I didn't notice. I didn't know you guys would notice."
Yeah. So we put Skate Life on Palm Tree to replace the R. Kelly sample because we want. I mean, Skate Life just, you know, fucking slaps. It's so good, and you'll understand why when you watch Animal Chin.
Oh God, yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to check it out at some point.
It's really good. You gotta find Animal Chin. So yeah, we put that on to replace the song that sampled R. Kelly because it was better and didn't, you know.
Yeah, I feel that.
And yeah, I think, you know, Skate Life does kind of fit on it. On Skate Life is so perfect on Tuxedo Princess. It's on both now. So,
bruh,
what are you gonna do? It's my song. I'll do what I want.
Facts. Thank you, Roche, for saving me. I was trying to think of a question that would be cool enough to ask these boys, but you got a question. He said, any new or up and coming vapor artists that you've been keeping an eye on or listening to?
So before we jump into that, when Lux mentioned earlier the Tuxedo Princess Curse, I thought she was talking about how that album very nearly got released on Amdiscs.
Whoa! Oh man! Yeah. I would say that's a stroke of fortune. That like That's
avoiding. How hot are the hot
bad
takes we going on here?
As hot as you want.
Man, the original,
we have a strong sense of justice and
original
morality on our
vaporwave
takes.
controversy source. AM discs. That's the original. That would be the original first. I would say that's the first big controversy in vaporwave. Was that
the very
was
first
that label? The very first. If you guys don't know about that, you can consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably on a Twitter thread, or not a Twitter, a Reddit thread somewhere.
I remember even seeing those websites pop up. Like, man, they're really pretending to be like the most legitimate fucking thing in the world. Like, wow, I thought we were just fucking around making tapes.
In terms of recent vaporwave, I did listen to someone recently. There's like, oh shit, I don't have Spotify anymore. It was on Spotify, like, you know, they have the Spotify playlist, and jeez,
it'll come to you.
I mean,
that's
Vanitas
why
still
With Love is
considered, like, a
Dreaming?
new
I had
name?
no idea, Lux. Wow.
Yeah.
Vanitas has probably been around for a few years now, but yeah, I was big into Vanitas for a while.
Oh,
I mean,
Vanitas.
Vanitas is great.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a new name, but probably the newest
I would say
that I've listened to.
Oh, he said Vanitas.
Oh, Vanitas.
We do love
yeah.
Lunitas. They're
We love Vanitas
fantastic.
as well. Lunitas,
But
yes.
I have actually not heard enough Vanitas, and I really badly need to. Maybe I
Vanitas
could get a
is
rec
great.
from you, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, we're going back a while here. Let me have a quick look, see what I can find. No, that's not it. What I'm gonna look something up. Does anyone else have a
Yeah. What
question
have you
while I
been bumping,
Google
Euan?
check?
What's your answer to Roge's question? Any new or up and coming vapor that you've been kind of fucking with that you can put us on?
No.
Damn, that's cold.
I haven't kept up with much vaporwave for quite a while. So,
What's the last
yeah, I'm
vaporwave
definitely-
that you remember really liking?
I genuinely can't think. Like,
Man, and they had that whole
way
Barber
back.
Beach show in Great Britain. I don't remember which city, and you didn't go.
No.
Euan's too busy at the bootleg.
Probably had to
Beatles show.
work. He's too busy. He's like, I had to see the Bootleg Beatles that night. Whoops.
Can we get back to the important subject at hand here? Which is, what is the Bootleg Beatles up to, and when are they touring again?
I know, right? Watch, we get
I
done.
hear
It's
they do
like, hey, what do you want to
costume
shout out?
changes. I hear it's quite the pageantry affair, quite the affair of pageantry, sound and color.
It's the real deal, man. The real
deal. The real fake deal. Oh wow, this is great.
I always try to keep a good selection of great questions, and I can't seem to find them right now. So I guess I will just say,
Oh man, 4 years ago.
yeah, I'm doing such a great, I'm batting 1,000 tonight.
Isaac. Okay.
We're all
Yeah.
on fire.
Somebody jump in and save
Let
me.
me see if I can get this in the chat.
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
dropping
we're-
some Vanitas in the chat if my laptop
There we go.
unfreezes. Oh shit.
Isn't Venus the one that made the like night at the museum or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm dropping in right now.
Oh.
Nice.
Is that just the link? Doesn't look like a YouTube link.
What I got a question
Yeah,
for you
it's
guys
easy.
while you work on dropping that link. What artist,
How did you find?
besides
Okay.
David Bowie, what artist stopped making music that you wish would get back into the game?
That's interesting.
Like they would make music again.
That's a serious question, man.
I mean, kind of, he's just released an album under a different name, so he's still making music. But I wish we could have a new Neon Indian album, because I
yeah,
fucking
no,
love
oh,
Neon
wow.
Indian.
I
So
love that.
not as Alan
The
Palomo.
new, yeah, like I'm sure
Game
the album's
changer,
quite
right?
good. It wasn't really my thing.
Yeah,
I
but
gotcha.
those early
I-
Neon
the
albums, those first two.
the second
Oh,
Neon
yeah.
Indian album.
Oh,
Era
Game Changer.
Extraña is
Holy
unequivocally
shit.
his best, in
Maybe-
my opinion.
It's maybe it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Like
What a
Era
game- what a game
Extraña? Oh,
changer.
dude.
That was
Yeah,
like everything
like
I was
Suns
looking for in
Erupt
music
is a
at the time.
phenomenal track.
Early
Like,
2010s.
Polish Girl is like
Yeah.
one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, you're just like you heard that song, you're like, I gotta play a synthesizer
I've
right
I've
now.
seen Skelly play
Yeah.
Polish Girl as a
Yeah.
while DJing. Clearly,
Oh,
you
yeah, all the time.
are a fan.
Oh my god, yeah, all the time. That album was like, man, early 2000s. That's like such like quintessential early 2010s right there, and that's like the best era for music in my opinion. Early 2010s.
Yeah, man. Well, I
Good
don't know what it
stuff.
was. Tom, what about you, bud?
Oh, it's a good question.
God, we had everything in the early 2010s, and we lost it all.
We squandered it.
We squandered it all. We had the best music, we had the
Only
best
you,
way of
huh?
like dealing with the internet. We had the best like everything. That was the best. I never thought I'd be one of those people that would think that there was a best time for music. It's actually because I was like older by the time the early 2010s happened. But no, that was the one. That was the
You know
time.
what?
I was
Yeah,
there.
all the different sounds, all the fun
Right.
sounds were being made.
It's a playground for independent electronic
It
internet.
was a playground for that, and it was just everybody was doing something very interesting and making something very cool. And now everybody just wants to be on a spot. I don't even know what's real. I don't even know what's real music and what's a fucking industry plant at this point.
Sound like you're
Yeah.
losing
And
your
then,
edge,
then,
dude.
then you
Losing my
Then
edge.
you
Yeah,
get
it sounded like
the
the losing my
outro.
edge song. It sounded like the losing my edge.
You're gonna have to
song.
get
Yeah,
on TikTok, Skelly.
That's why I told you that's the best song lyrics ever written. Losing my edge. Best song lyrics ever written. I
comes
will
full circle.
die on a hill over that one.
I will bring any conversation.
We all
back
know
to
what
City
you
Transition,
really
by the way.
want.
The
We all
themes for
know
tonight
what
have
you
been
really want.
the Bootleg Beatles and that song that Skelly really
Bootleg
likes. I can't
Beatles.
remember who it's by.
Losing My Edge by LCD Sound
LCD
System.
Sound System. Lux has an excellent question. She says that she doesn't feel like you quite finished the story about how you found out about vaporwave. Ramona brought you in, but how did you continue to navigate in it?
See, I think Lux knows the answer to this question.
Oh, is that so?
And yeah, she's there used to be a very long time ago in the golden age of Tumblr, there was a few mixes appeared. What were they called? Late Night Lo-Fi
Ooh.
volumes 1,
yeah.
2, and 3. Stumbled across those. You know, I think I picked them up again a few years ago. I don't know if they're still online.
They're solid.
I sure hope they are because they are so good. And, you know, whoever made them clearly has exquisite taste.
They're so good. They're on Discogs.
They're on Discogs.
They're on Discogs.
I mean, of course,
Yeah.
they deserve to be. They're pinned on
Yeah,
Discord.
facts.
That's absolutely perfect. I'm going to download them right after this because they are timeless.
All the old late.
And that was like the late night lo-fi mixes were, you know, sort of a big when we were putting together the blueprint for Topaz Gang departing from doing chillwave things and doing more vaporwavy things. You know, that was like, you know, a part of the initial influence.
Hell yeah. Euan?
Yeah, I remember. I really, really specifically remember on saying to me, "Oh, Euan, you know, like, there's this new thing happening. It's called vaporwave. It's kind of about sort of unremembered features that didn't happen in shopping malls, and we should do
Yeah.
something cool
Oh,
about
wow.
it."
That's
I was
cool. I like
like-
that description.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And this is like, yeah, this is right at the very start of it
Nice.
existing. So
Never really even
It
had
was
a name
cool.
practically. It just was.
yeah, I
getting
think there was a couple. I'm sure there was a couple different names that were going around. I can't remember what else. I'm sure vaporwave was like one of the potential
Right.
names.
Yeah.
It
was the coolest sounding one.
Long time ago. Yeah, it's a fucking cool name, and it took me ages to realize that it's a pun on vaporware.
Yeah.
That didn't occur to me for a long time.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so just.
Oh, I don't know what I just did.
Oh, what are you doing?
You're still with us.
Still here.
Yeah, I think kind of engaging with that scene really helped us to keep kind of releasing stuff at that time, but also, it felt like a time. It felt like a thing that we had that kind of had to happen. And yeah, a bunch of weird shit happened, like Madrid.
Sorry, I'm not
and
laughing at you,
Gucci.
and I'm watching the chat.
And yeah, I don't know.
Man, it was a beautiful, like, it was a beautiful. I wasn't there for like the inner circle either, like, but it was just a very like explosive and kind of like a flashpoint moment. Very, very exciting time.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of people online like griping about this guy who tried to describe vaporwave. I guess some. Again, I really don't like the word normie, but like some normie dude tried to describe vaporwave and named washed out. And people were going, washed out's not vaporwave. And I mean, they're right, but like so much of early chillwave music was very sample based. Like teams sampled all the time, you know.
It was interesting though, because it felt like we moved from this kind of loose, like sample based, like, whoa, like just compress it loads and sidechain the kick onto a really like lush pad and yeah, man, chill, bro, to like, here's this really specific conceptual thing to explore with music.
Yeah.
And that was that switch for us from kind of Betamax to Topaz Gang. It was like,
that makes sense.
And I don't think we ever necessarily like chased that specific aesthetic and specific concept quite as much as other people did. I think we were quite happy for that to kind of sit in the background, but that very much kind of drove that switch in the music to here's something about kind of like ghosts of capitalism in this.
Ghosts of
capitalism.
Capitalism.
Ghosts of capitalism. I'll take it.
That's cool.
We got a good one by Tryptophan. Who does Topaz Gang wish that they could have collaborated with?
The Bootleg Beatles.
Bootleg Beatles.
Unreal.
I love to see an original collaboration with the Bootleg Beatles.
Well, you got some of the big names on there, so yeah.
Yeah, we did get very blessed with some of our collab choices. I'd often wanted to do like just like a full on like collab album and just have like loads of like names come and go.
Oh yeah.
Throughout, and you know, like
you could still do that.
Yeah, Skelly did that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
A couple years
could
ago.
Still do that.
You could.
I did that with Poem of Vampire. Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Lots of people have come back.
You should do that. You should have like a new person on it. I would do one. I would do a track with you guys. You should do a track with like everybody, all your friends, and each one have a different person.
Something like that would be cool.
Maybe
I don't know why more people don't collab or remix. Or I think that shit is so fun. Maybe people just don't want to. I don't know.
It's always hard working with other people.
I guess, yeah.
Times.
I think you have to like. I really enjoy working with other people, but you have to be able to like detach part of your ego for it. You know,
yeah, that's a good point.
To actually collaborate, you have to be able to let go of something and like.
That's a very good point.
The other person to do something. I really enjoy that feeling. I love like sending something off for a remix and getting back something totally weird and unexpected. But I can really understand why people are tentative about doing that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If something isn't done, if you're used to doing it your way and something isn't done exactly the way you wanted, it might be a little like, do I really want my name on this? But I mean, hey, it's a collaboration, you know. Bet. Keep it coming, chat. We got 15 more minutes. Let's see here.
Just to note to the chat, it's nearly 2 a.m. for me and Tom right now. So
you guys are troopers.
hurry up with the question.
We're at our most
Yeah.
unhinged.
And Tom is sick, so yeah. Let's see.
Oh man.
Gosh, Skelly, you got one you want to let rip?
What values or principles does it represent for your group? The name Topaz. According to Puff and Bill.
Is that a chat question?
That's it. I just saw it come up.
Chat GPT, yeah.
Is that a chat GPT question?
Values or principles?
Yeah. Values and principles.
All right, we'll try.
Collaboration.
Oh, whoa, Tryptophan. Weren't there?
What's your favorite synthesizer?
Steal shitting.
What's my favorite synth?
Yeah,
like my favorite
synthesizer really is like
20.
Corganus 20. Cool. That's a good one. Big old thick tower.
For people that are listening in like on the podcast can't see, Euan has a bunch of like synths behind him, including a modular synth.
Roland D50.
Oh, it's nothing fully modular. It's
from 1986.
I don't actually use synthesizers, but I see a bunch of patch sections.
Yeah,
maybe that's in my mind. I thought that meant modular.
So the Core Games 20 is a semi-modular synth. So you can repatch it, you can patch it into other things, but you can just play it as it is.
In a small little tank, but like a tank.
What do you guys
used to use a lot of those live back in the day?
We got another good one by Tryptophan. He wants to know if there was originally lyrics to Feather Skull, or is that another thing that he thought?
See, this is Tryptophan coming in with like the deep
Tryptophan has been around.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, okay, so I definitely wrote lyrics to that song. I don't recall recording them, or
who
if
was
I did
gonna sing
record
them?
them, I was like, "Wow, this!" Yeah, I sang it.
That's cool.
And it was probably terrible, and I don't think I even uploaded it to the internet. But yeah, this is honestly Nardwell levels.
Yeah, I never heard, and I've got some early shit. Damn, Brian Mediocre, thank you for the dono. Puffin Bill Grooves wants to know if you still fuck with chiptune.
Always tempted to.
I mean, I still enjoy it. Like,
yeah.
I don't have any of my Game Boys and shit anymore.
Damn.
I've still got my Game Boys and shit, and
nice.
Always like, oh, that would be fun. I haven't touched them for years, but never say never.
Never. When you guys buy music, what do you think is a fair price for an album or an EP?
So I was recently over in the States, and
buying music,
records are way more expensive over there than they are here.
That's so interesting. He said, "Buy music."
Yeah, it was one of the only things.
We talked about like burning CDs at CD Club earlier.
Yeah, MP3 downloader, YouTube to MP3, SoulSeek.
Oh, gone but not forgotten.
LimeWire.
Bootleg physicals.
Bootleg Beatles.
So
Did you
records.
guys ever consider DJing?
Oh man,
Hang
real talk though, like
hang
so
on.
many Topaz Gang songs wouldn't exist without YouTube to MP3.
I want to hear the rest of the answer to my question real quick.
Sorry.
So no, you don't owe me no apology. I'm just busting your. I'm taking the piss.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so fair price for a record or an EP, like a full length.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. If you're talking like a vinyl, like 12-inch album, like £20, that feels
fair.
That feels about right.
Which I think is like, I can't remember if the
like
pound.
A little bit shy of $30.
$25, like $25-$30 maybe.
Gotcha.
A little bit less. So
You're talking about like a vinyl, like a beautiful vinyl,
like one of these.
like that beautiful vinyl. Shit,
Like
who
this
made
one.
that? Wow, everybody look.
Oh,
so that's worth
remastered by
$25.
Fire Tools, by the way.
No shit, Fire Tools, shout out.
Yeah.
Nice. Shout out Power Tools.
We were talking about Fire Tools earlier, and I was meant to at the time. Shout out Fire Tools for the remaster.
Hell yeah.
Sounds sick.
So 25 or 30. What about an EP, guys? What would you pay for an EP? Would you? in fact, pay for an EP if you like the artist a lot.
So what are we talking here? Like a physical, like EP on like a 7-inch, or like an MP3 download?
Both.
Because like,
give me the answer to both.
Yeah.
People
Okay.
even
So
buy-
like,
that's-
I mean, a physical.
Because Skelly wanted to
release,
know if you DJ, which kind of dovetails with my question.
Oh, yeah.
I don't DJ. You and DJs in the truest sense of the
So
word.
I know you.
I do like a
you buy
radio show.
vinyls.
You
I
have
do
a
a
radio
show.
show.
I don't mix.
What kind of music do you play on your radio show?
Like post-punk, krautrock,
fun.
weird
Cool, man.
electronica. Yeah.
Oh, that's
bunch of
awesome.
Stuff. Called On Repeat. Look it up.
Yeah, on repeat with you and Lynn. So for a physical EP, I don't know. Depends on like the format, but I would happily pay like say £10 for like a vinyl EP, maybe even a bit more
Damn,
than that
you
if
guys
it's
really
like a
do
local artist.
pay more out there.
All right.
Yeah. But if it's like a Bandcamp thing, and if it's like, an artist that we love, or an artist in our sort of realm, always drop a few coins in the donation thing. When it says like name your price, put something more than zero.
It's
Yeah.
tough
Depending
when it's
on,
just files, isn't it? It's tough to put a value on it, but I think there always is a value to it because it takes effort, and so you always got to value people's work, haven't you?
Facts.
All right.
Even
I
if
have a
it's like just enough for them to, go out and get a cup of coffee or something,
Yeah.
Treat
Chris
them.
wants to ask a
Why not?
question real bad. I can tell.
I
Yeah,
just want to
sorry,
know
Chris.
more about Euan's radio show.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming that this is like a shock jock format. Like you're like a morning guy. You're like this is you, the rude dude with the attitude, and the garbage gang, and you like play a bunch
And the
of sound
garbage
effects.
gang.
You like
We got the soundboard.
say a bunch of misogynistic stuff, and like just like stoke the fires.
Oh my god.
They take the stuff collar stuff.
I'm-
They take the starch
I'm so
out of
glad.
those stuff collars.
Takes the
So glad that
starch
you
out
read
of
my
the
vibe
collars.
so well.
Yeah. I would love if we tuned in. And
Hey,
it was
while
like a
you
totally
weren't
different
here,
personality.
he told me he
It was
would
like a
beat the
Howard
piss out of
Stern
me in
sort
a
of
fight.
thing.
So that's right on brand. You missed it.
Oh, damn. I really hope that I put on your radio show. It's just I think you know what I'm going to say next. And the only band you're playing is, of course, the Bootleg Beatles.
Bootleg Beatles.
Just different holders, different
for my
bootleg
next
recordings.
show.
Bootleg of the Bootleg Beatles that you've taken yourself, and you're just
Right.
like, this is just the entire show, and the show's 5 hours long. You just like keep playing the same Bootleg Beatles song.
Did Lux seriously find the
Interspersed by your shock
archives
jock
of your
routine,
show? Wow. That's fire as fuck.
I hope
Um,
that really hope.
Shout
Lux
out to
actually
Black
has a question she's going to ask for one of our dear friends, Strip Silence. Starting with you, Tom. Rank these three things in order of importance: album cover, album title, track titles.
I think in that order, yeah. Like the art, you got to be able to recognize it. Like, and people will always talk about how like certain albums have iconic artwork,
Right.
and sometimes that can transcend even if like the album sucks. People can be like, yeah, but the artwork's amazing. I mean, we know what we're talking about, like vaporwave.
Not necessarily.
I mean, not necessarily, but like vaporwave track titles mean sweet fuck all.
They mean sweet fuck all.
Sweet fuck all.
Really?
Sweet
You
fuck
mean
all.
Testarossa Summer 1983 doesn't mean anything to you?
Mhm.
I mean,
My bad. That's more of a synthwave title. I'll see myself
Yeah.
out.
More of a
Look,
synthwave title,
once
yeah.
I get done, Lux is going to be like, I can't believe you.
More of a synthwave title.
how dare you?
What about you, Ewan?
Home residence
album art,
and vaporwave.
home residences. Oh. Album art, album title, track titles. Rank them.
Yeah, no, I agree with Tom. Like, the artwork is one of the most important things. Out of those things, I don't know, I feel track titles they basically don't matter. Album titles kind of
Yeah.
don't matter too much either. They're just a good way of cataloging things. So the artwork
I'll be one sec.
Yeah.
Because
artwork is
for
super
the
important.
for the question that's just been pinned, I got something real good.
Ooh. Ooh. I was really hoping
Oh.
we would have a second to
Is
get to
that-
that because we're almost out of time. But the pinned
Oh.
question to our listeners is, what is your favorite or rarest music-related thrift store find?
Oh,
And
okay.
Tom has just
go.
gone off screen.
Let's go.
I've got
Let's
something to
go.
grab as well.
We both okay.
So-
Both boys are going
alright.
off screen real quick.
So they're getting their stuff. So then, Isaac,
This is
I have
exciting.
a question. Isaac, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Rank in most importance. Macintosh Plus, Blank Banshee, 18 Karat Affair.
Do you mean like for me or in general?
In general.
Are you going to ask me to give you like the impact on it as a whole, or like what I think are most important in seminal?
Which ones do you think are the most? Which ones do you think is the most important?
I think 18 Karat Affair is the most important, and you know, I think Macintosh Plus. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ramona admitted she was just kind of dicking around with that album, but like it's been so seminal. Blank Banshee, of course, completely set off like an offshoot on the other, like another subgenre. But unfortunately, if you had to pick out of the
Lux
three,
my question too. Yeah,
yeah, that is a great.
Lux
doesn't.
We should start asking people that question.
Yeah. We're gonna skim over
for
the
me.
fact.
For me, it's 18 Karat.
Yeah.
And then it's really hard for me to decide between the other two.
Blank
It's
Banshee
really
is
hard
incredibly
because,
seminal, but
I mean, the thing is, like, I should say Vec second, but at the end of the day, like,
dude,
I listened
Vec
to
and
I listened to
Macintosh
Blank-
Plus are two different things. I know
you
Vec
can-
made Macintosh
How
Plus,
about
but
you know what? Count them both together, because the thing is, like, I listened to Blank Banshee when it first came out a lot, and like I was very impressed with what they were doing. And when I first heard Blank Banshee, I was like, this sounds very different, and I think this is always going to sound like good for several years to come. Like, this, anybody who listens to these like first 2 albums or so is going to be like, this is different, and they're always going to feel that way. Like, I feel like in 20 years people will listen to that and I'll be like, oh, nice, that's interesting. You got this, you got the sound production really like you made the sound production that's always
it was very clean. And then he did his own visuals.
yeah,
and, they were cool
and
as
like
fuck, too.
and like the drum patterns and everything. I'm like, this was like, there's a reason that it endures. Like, I the first time I heard it, I'm like, this will endure. Like, and I was like, that's very interesting that this will endure. It's very hard to make stuff that will really always endure. So it's hard for me to judge between those two, because I want to say Vec, but I'm like, man, I don't know. That Blank, when I first heard Blank Banshee, I was like, oh boy, people are gonna listen to this for a long time, whether or not vaporwave becomes a thing. Like,
man, I want to say so much more, but these boys both look very excited to show us
yeah,
the
let's see.
rarest
We got 'em.
find.
I want to ask them. I should ask them that question too, when they're done showing me the rare.
Yeah, and then we gotta wrap.
Then we gotta
up,
let them go to
man.
bed. We have to let
But
them go to bed.
We gotta let them go to bed.
Yeah. Oh, and then also, guys, stay tuned in the chat. Can we link over to the late Arcanes?
Yes, we can.
Because
Yes, we
I'm
can.
performing at that. At
You
like
already
11 or-
performed.
Oh, at this. No, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's
we'll
right. 'Cause
still.
it's GMT. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot
Sorry,
it's GMT.
King.
I was like, oh, 11 p.m.
We'll rate them still though.
They might be done by now. Actually, now
Shit,
that
they
I think
actually
about
might.
it.
Oh,
All
it
right,
ended
well,
already.
Anyway. All right. Well, guess what?
All right.
Let's go catch the replay
So
in 24
Tom's the
hours.
one. Tom's the one who. Oh, we'll raid Discoholic. Tom's the one who brought it up. So let's see your find first, bud.
Yeah.
So the thing you need to remember is that I live in a rural town in northeast England, and there's fuck all here. So the fact that I found this in a do you guys have charity shops?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Red
Absolutely.
Cross,
Yeah.
Council for the Blind, absolutely.
Yeah. For £1.99.
Okay.
And if you know what this is, then
So
you
he's
just-
got. I can hear Lux
if you know,
screaming
you
from the
know.
other room.
Oh my God, what's gonna
I am
happen?
a dilettante,
And so-
but it is "I Want You" by Gary Lowe.
Wow.
That's a lot of yo's. I don't know what I'm looking at, and I'm sorry. Can you explain?
You don't know? Okay,
We haven't
so
gone
this
into
is-
my
first of all,
history, but maybe someday.
This is a super single, 45 RPM, 12-inch single. This is the song
I understand.
sampled in "Feel It All Around" by Washed Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just
At
so
this-
weird that it
at
was
this
just
time. I understand.
Yeah, so it's slowed down a lot. It's like an old Italo disco song.
well. So this is the thing, like, because this is, I'm pretty sure
Like,
this
you'll notice it right away.
Because this is a 45 RPM 12-inch, but if you play this at 33,
yeah,
like
it's literally just feel
it's
it all
walked
around.
out.
It sounds literally just like it.
Wow. So it's so funny
The
because
B-side's instrumental.
so I'm only
Unreal.
familiar with the regular version of that song, which is not that 45 RPM version. But if you actually listen, it's amazing how different the washed out version sounds than that. Like that was like, whoa, the power of time stretching, because that like that, you know, at the beginning, in the actual version of that song, it's like very twinkly. You know what I mean? It's very like small and like very like contained. Like it's like a very glittery. It feels like glitter. But the washed out version, it's like fully expanded and like melts all over the place.
True. Yeah.
Like that's fucking nuts. Like that is maybe the best sampled song. Like, you know, like the best work done with like sampling. People don't even realize it. But go back and actually listen to I Want You by Gary Lowe, and you're gonna be like amazed at how like different and texturized that song sounds and how different it sounds than compared to the original version. Like once again, just like that initial synth twinkle in the beginning of the washed out song, it's not twinkle anymore. It feels like chords. It feels like fully expanded and melted. It melts all over. But in the original version, it's just like twinkles, like ding, 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 ding. Like it's so
kind of unbelievable.
It's crazy. So you're telling me that version that you have right there, like really like demonstrates what like a different sound for it. Wow.
So
that's
it's
cool.
If you play
that's
it,
really cool,
if
man.
you play
That
it
is a
at
good
the wrong speed, I think it is.
Wow. Okay.
That's nifty. Thank you for educating me.
That's nifty. If that wow. Okay. Cool, man. Very cool.
That's snazzy.
Very cool. Very very cool. All right. So anyway, what else?
Euan, what have you got?
Okay, so this wasn't from a charity shop, it was from a secondhand record shop. But so talked about the Clash before. This is a Clash bootleg called Back to Basics. The very last tour the Clash ever did, they went busking around the UK and just sort of like showed up and played gigs wherever they wanted to. And they came to Newcastle, and then they played a gig at a DIY venue in an old fire station in Gateshead called The Station. And this is a bootleg of that show.
Wow,
it sounds
that's crazy.
So it's local.
Whoa.
And he just froze.
Oh, I think we've lost Euan.
I hear him. I see. Oh,
he looks very enthusiastic in this freeze frame.
But this is really cool. You guys got some really fucking cool finds.
Dude, he was like, it's 2 a.m. I'm out. Oh,
there we go.
He's back.
There he goes. He's back.
He's back.
All right.
Oh, I'm back. It's
yeah.
Yellow vinyl.
You froze. It's a yellow vinyl.
You froze for a second. It's a yellow vinyl. It's the Bootleg Clash album.
Yeah.
From Newcastle at the Gateshead Fire Station.
Yeah. So just like this super, super cool bootleg. It says on the bottom, this is not a high fidelity album. The historical importance of this album transcends fidelity of audio.
Ooh.
That's awesome. That is.
I found this
biblical. Wow,
you should throw that on your vinyl of your album.
Wow,
that's a perfect.
I'm just gonna write that one.
Mission
like everything I ever do.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Isaac, I gotta say, I really like these episodes where we have two people that we're interviewing.
You know what? The only thing I don't like about it is we have to wrap up. Like we just started. I mean, you guys, it's late.
Well, there's 2 a.m. We gotta let them go to bed.
Yeah.
Like,
so
when was the last time we had two people?
We had Comet and Sonovision Deluxe, and prior to that, we had iClick.
And iClick. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, I hate to wrap up, but we usually like to give you guys the floor to shout out anything you want to shout out or promote anything you want to promote.
Yeah.
So we'll start with you, and anything you guys want to just kind of put in a quick plug for.
Nothing in particular. Yeah, I'm just gonna say trans rights.
Hell yeah, trans rights.
Yeah.
You heard it on Hot Takes.
Oh yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, trans rights. Beatles suck. Go see the Bootleg Beatles.
Go see the Bootleg Beatles. Go buy Novyi Lef's albums. Go see them live if you're in Great Britain.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably no British people in the chat, but I will shout out that we are playing in December in Gateshead anyway.
In a goth weekend.
A goth.
Gateshead.
What is it? Like a goth market or something?
Yeah, there's like a goth market in the day, and then
you're playing at a goth market.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like that post-punk cold wave sound fits tracks.
What were you? What? Any post-punk cold wave bands you guys like a lot that you've been listening to that are influential for you guys?
I've been listening to a fuck ton of Nation of Language recently. Saw
That's
them
nice.
just
Good
the
stuff.
other day. Fucking love Nation of Language. Influential bands for Novyi Lef, LCD Sound System, that one Julie Ruin album.
Oh, that's right, the Julie Ruin album. That's right.
There's an amazing Australian band called None, who are almost impossible to find because there's a million other bands called None. But if you can find None, their second album's called The Dome, so that might be a way to find them. But their first album is fucking incredible. So that was a big influence on Novyi Lef.
You guys listen to Black Marble?
No.
Wow. Lux is cool
Lux
with
found
the
it.
links, huh?
She is,
Please,
dude.
please
Shout out
to
Lux.
Black Marble. Please listen to Black
that's
Marble. They're amazing. They're the best band.
Okay. Will do.
They're like
so fire. And
phenomenal songwriters in general, regardless of whatever their genre would be. I mean, I would consider them that cold wavy sort of thing, but like they're just phenomenal songwriters. Doesn't matter what kind of music they were making, how they want to do the production for it.
Well, fellas, it's been a real. You first, Skelly.
Hell yeah.
Me first?
What are you doing?
Okay. Well, catch the replay of Light Arcane's album, stream. I did a little set for that, which I played a bunch of my new songs on. Speaking of the new songs, they're done, and they are in the hands of, to mention again, their name one more time, Fire Tools.
Fire
Tools has got the album, and they are mastering it as we speak, and then I'll ship it on off to Alex at Pacific Plaza. I believe that will be the record label that's releasing it. And I don't know what to call it yet, and I don't have any artwork for it. So I got to figure that out. I hate that part. I really hated it. Because I don't know what to do. And then aside from that, November 6th and 7th is Flaming, right? November 6th and 7th, is that correct?
I think it's the 3rd and 4th.
Oh fuck! November 3rd and 4th is Flamingo Fest.
Yeah,
and
November 3rd and 4th.
I'll be playing on the launch party day, on the first day of it.
Oh, the boys are going to be together again.
And young Shiro will be there as well, doing his thing, ripping it up, tearing around, making music. Best DJ ever. Young Shiro, for sure. You should have seen him. Man, I only say what is true. I don't sugarcoat. It's true. So that, and then December. Yeah,
you have Eclipse, don't you?
December. No, the Eclipse isn't going to be until like fucking next year, actually. But in December, I believe Frank Javc and Orograph and I will be doing something TBA. But I am just,
for some reason, I thought that was Eclipse. My bad.
That's going to be in December, but I am really trying hard to secure an 18+ venue for that, because I want to like have I want to have more people be able to come to it that don't always get to go to these things. So I'm just trying to figure out an 18+ venue in Philadelphia right now. So Orograph, myself, and Frank Java C. I'll be playing together.
Frank Java C. Yes.
Frank Java C. Okay. Hypnagothic pop. I coined that. Hypnagothic pop. That's the music I make now.
We got to wrap up and let these poor men go to bed.
Excellent.
I will very quickly fly through. Check out my socials and my YouTube to catch the visualizer for the Dark Scent set that I did at Midwest Aesthetic Season of the Glitch, Midwest Aesthetic 3. Shout out Winter Mute and Warm Light for putting on the show, and Salem, of course.
Shout out, yes.
And Warm Light for doing my visuals. Phenomenal show. Had a great time. Love Madison. Come out on Friday, I believe it is October 20 at 9 p.m. to the Platypus in St. Louis to see me, Luxury Elite, Scythe Heaven, and Frank Javc play Ghost City. Woo! I am the opening DJ that night, and I'm actually really relieved to be an opener for once. 1 hour and 5 minutes of vibey, danceable lo-fi house music.
Yeah, man. People just want you to be like the main act these days. Like that's the. Thing.
You know what? I got called a heavyweight in Madison, and that was weird. And
you are, man. Like honestly, like it's just really funny. Like they have like you see how quickly they shifted to be like, all right, we are putting young Shiro in the primest time spots possible these days.
Never saw it coming. You and I better talk later. But I have people hitting me up asking me how I'm doing it, and I definitely mentioned that you helped a lot. But anyways.
That's kind of you.
October 20th in St. Louis, Ghost City, Platypus, me, Lux, and Frank Jeffsey. Of course, High Tide in LA on November 3. I'm one of the 3 DJs, along with, I believe it's Future Funk Monthly, and who's the other guy? He does the Waterfront Dining mixes. Starts with a G. I can't remember. Great guy. I did want to play Roge Fest. I'm sorry, Roge Corp. I was just too busy, dude. And then after that, I'll finally have time to do like my Vapor 91.5 WML vaporwave set and probably some other stuff. Groove Remote, thank you. If you're listening, Groove Remote, I'm sorry, I can't remember anything.
I love Groove Remote. I love their streams they do as well.
Groove Remote's very skilled. I'm honored to be able to open to those people. It's going to be a great weekend. I know I'm forgetting something, but I can't remember what it is. So we will go ahead and say thank you again to Topaz Gang. It's been a long time coming. Love you guys, really, on a deeply personal level. I hope you sleep really well tonight, and we're not doing the show again until Monday. Have we agreed Monday, October 23, I believe? Did we get a confirmation from our next guest or not yet?
I forgot to follow up with that, but I'm
That's
pretty
okay.
sure he's going to stay us. Did you get his announcement? He's going to, of course.
Yeah, well, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have Fake Fever on. Thank you, Skelly, for floating that idea.
And that way we'll have gotten, I think we'll have had everybody who's playing Flamingo Fest, at least the second day, the big day. I think we'll have everybody who's from America has been on Hot Takes.
Unreal.
With the exception, no, actually, I take that back. There's one other. We gotta get Limousine on as well.
Oh yeah, shout out Limousine. So
if
check
we
us
get
out.
Limousine on, if we get Limousine on eventually, we'll have had every single person from Flamingo Fest has been on the show.
We really appreciate you guys tuning in, regulars and newbies. Follow us, check out the official Hot Takes Spotify playlist, join our Discord server, and donate if you feel so led. We're going to go ahead and raid Discoholics chat, but not before once again running that Roge Fest ad. Thank you again. We love you guys, and good night.
Grails Trump's birthday's coming up October 21st. I'll never forget it because that's the same day as my wife's birthday, October 21st. Thank you, Jenny. Happy birthday live stream on www.streamlabs.com/Rosecorp the party.